Well, welcome to the House of Nerds show. My name's Adriean Koleric, and I'm commandeering this vehicle tonight. So, what are we looking at? Oh, what are you pointing at? What are you pointing at?
The banner at the bottom there. It's the takeover, baby.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, the official takeover. So here I am. So welcome. So I brought on a couple of my, I guess, I don't know, are we like Kickstarter family? Because we started our Kickstarters like around the same time. So
yeah, man, it's been like 3 years or something.
Right. So I was trying to get Richard from Blam and Glam because he was like the fourth, right? But he's like in England, so screw him, right? So anyway, are we 30 seconds yet?
I think we just
are we good?
Past the 30-second mark. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fuck. All right. Oh, we lost Pat. Anyway. Okay. So that was Pat.
We're already down one.
So Pat went to go take a shit, and so anyway, so Chris from Tights, Brendan from Sequential Magazine. Hey. So you know what, gentlemen, I'm going to start with Brent. Oh, and Sergio, right? This is Sergio's car, but he's in the back seat tonight. So Pat,
I'm taking the back seat.
Pat's back.
I'm
right?
back. Sorry about that.
All right, Pat, author of Pop Scars on Sumerian. So okay, so let's start with who we can start with. Who wants to go first for introductions?
I will.
Okay, go.
Oh, I have to talk now.
Well, I'm not going to introduce you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Joe.
So I do Pop Scars. Right now we have issue 5 coming out next week, and then issue 6 should be end of the month. And I do Punch Publishing. So I have a bunch of new projects coming out next year. And they're kind of ranging from like high fashion horror story to like, dinosaur superheroes. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm up to. Just trying to get into the comic world even deeper. So this is fun to finally.
Oh, buddy, you're balls deep into the comic world. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
I think I could go deeper still. But...
Buddy, you're just like knocking up people at this point. So well done.
Thanks,
done. All right. Who's going to follow that? I go Chris. Chris.
Hey, what up? It's crazy to be talking to the human in-person, kind of in-person versions of all y'all. Yeah, we know each other. Shit, we launched our first issues around the same time, around 3 years ago. It's crazy. Tights is still kickstarting, still waiting for a publisher. But we're in our third issue. We were very lucky to hit our goal right before 72 hours. I know algorithms. I've heard the algorithm loves that, so I don't know. We'll see what comes of it. But Tights has been my thing. It's we're in our third issue. The first arc will go 6, and so we're halfway there. And
right on.
Yeah,
awesome. Bro, that book is so pro. Like honestly, it's a professional looking book.
That's killer, man.
Yeah, the other week actually, I reread 1 and I read 2, so I'm all set for 3. I'm set.
Thank you.
Can't fucking wait. So yeah, are you gonna hit up publishers again with that? Are you gonna like do the rounds?
I think so. Now that I got 3, I think it kind of proves it's got legs. Hopefully,
yeah.
It's. I think I jumped the gun so much in the beginning. It was before the first issue was out, and I sent like pitches to like all these major publishers, and it's like Jesus. It's like it's not even like young Chris. It's just like Chris 3 years ago. It's like how stupid. There's no fucking chance. So
I think maybe you got to do that stuff.
Just read it.
Yeah, you have to though, dude. Like my submission was basically on a fucking Post-it note, right? Seriously, literally, it was a virtual Post-it note. So. It happens,
you had the first 2 issues, right?
I had the first 2 issues, yeah. So that kind of helped, right? It was all done. It was all smart. Done. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let's go to Brendan. Brendan, fucking that way. Brendan from Sequential. Okay, buddy.
So I'm a bit different. So I'm not an indie creator myself. I did a bit before, but now I publish Sequential Magazine, where we interview Canadian comic book creators, but specifically indie creators that want to help bring awareness to and give readers an opportunity to discover creators they wouldn't otherwise know about by putting them all in one place.
Yeah, we need that shit. Like we really need that. Like that stuff is so important, right? Along with this show, right? It's like the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, nice.
The
Sure.
magazine
for
looks
having me.
great, dude.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah,
It looks. They're talking about super pro. Yeah, that is legit.
And
Yeah.
Brandon, you interviewed Adrien, no? You've had him on the magazine, or?
We just mentioned that he'll be on the next issue, so issue 15 that we're crowdfunding right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. So
my
Riley,
friend interviewed me.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Randy.
Fuck, it was funny, right? So he sets up the Zoom meet, right? And he doesn't have an account, so he's got like a timer before the meeting ends.
Like the 40
And
minutes or something. Yeah.
we talked like 40 minutes of like hockey, right? Because he's
Oh,
in
no.
Edmonton, right?
I mean,
And
if you
it's
want to
like,
talk hockey, we could go there too.
fuck, it's just
Yeah,
like,
dude, I still
It's
play.
like-
Let's do it.
I see
it's
the Phillies in the background there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm just like, I'm gloating about the Oilers, right? And he's like, trying to like be positive about the Senators, right? So yeah, we wasted a good 40 minutes, and then we blew off that. So he got kicked out. We had to start it again. We blew off another 20 minutes of hockey talk, and then anyway, here we are. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, Sergio, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Serge, House of Nerd Show. This is what we do, baby. Excited to be hanging out with all these dope indie creators and content creators. Chris, Brendan, Pat, Adrien, man. Honestly, like I was saying before we went live, like this lineup is stacked. This is big, man, because Adrien, we got Trakovi dropped number 1 to a lot of fanfare this week. Chris, there you go, my man. Chris, you've got your Kickstarter funded already, man. Like what, in under 3 days or something like that? It's crazy.
Yeah, we just made it under 3 days. Yep.
Pat, you've got issue number 5 of Pop Scars is dropping next week, and then Brendan, we're gonna get you the issue number 15, which is big. It's a milestone, man. We're gonna hopefully get that funded, man. So I'm just excited to be hanging out with you guys. Take a back seat, let Adrien kind of run the show, man. I just want to chill, have a cold one. We did say tonight is a night of celebrations. I got a little Hazy Mariner.
Nice. I picked Ransack the Universe just because of the can.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good cover.
Hold up, buddy. I'm gonna zoom you right there, so we can all.
There we go. Hey, I gotta move past mine. There
Nice.
we go. Yeah.
Well, that's a good looking can.
I'm a label whore. I'm an absolute label whore, right? I mean, honestly, it could be like, it could be Bulgarian piss in there for all I know. But if it's got a nice cover, I'll give it a shot. I don't care. Right?
Okay. Right. So
Sergio,
Adrian's drinking. I mean, Pat, what do you got going on?
I got mezcal with like mango. This is like like the guys from Breaking Bad. They did a mezcal together. So that's what I like.
Is it that one?
Yeah,
dude, listen to this. So they came by San Francisco, or they were supposed to, and I signed up. I was going to get the bottle, and this was shit. Was it the first? It was after the first kick. It was in between the issue 1 and issue 2 tights, and at that time, God, what's his name? Malcolm in the Middle.
Bryan
Cranston. He was doing that show where he was a judge.
Your Honor, I think it's called.
Yeah, Your Honor. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna go there with an issue of tights, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna give my pitch, and then the whole thing got canceled because they didn't get the license or whatever. Yeah, but yeah.
Fuck, I love those missed opportunities. Yeah, I remember I had this one dude. He was it was a Kevin Smith lecture or something, and he was like the guy facilitating it. So he was like basically Kevin Smith's like liaison for the day, and so he's like, "Send me your comic, I'll give it to Kevin Smith." Right? I'm like, "Fuck sakes, man! You're like in California. I'm in like Alberta. Like this thing was like in a couple of nights. It's like, I should have hopped on a plane, to be honest. That would have been kind of funny." But
just show up.
Sergio, I feel like it'd be cool if you're like on a couch. You know what I mean? Like like a talk show sidekick kind of thing.
Yeah.
We should have done that, bro. Hey? Oh, you don't have to. I don't have to. Can you bring a couch in there?
Just reorg it.
I'm kidding. I'll be all demanding. Bring me a couch.
I think Serge is muted by accident.
Oh, I am.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's sweet.
So we're also doing a drinking game. Yeah. Okay. We're doing a drinking game. So whenever we say the word indie, we take a drink.
You gotta
right?
do a drink. Yeah.
Indie. Yeah.
So indie. Yeah.
There you go.
What was
That's
the other
right.
one?
That's right. Anytime we say indie, we got to take a swig. Folks at home, play along. We're going to see how long it takes. Who's the first one to tap out?
Who's the first one to tear their shirt off and flip the computer?
Oh, it's like a bag of milk. You don't want to see this. You don't want to see this. Whew, that's a sweaty thing. And what's the other thing we're doing? So it's indie and then something else where we're going to be taking a swig.
We're gonna be talking about our favorite indie comics as well as indie films. So I definitely want to hear. We want to hear from everybody watching at home, or if it's on the replay, let us know in the comments. Play along. Let us know what your favorite indie comics. Let's go top three indie comics, top 3 indie films. Let us know in the live chats, man. And then I also asked in the live chats there. You guys are gonna see it. And then Jeff is saying my current favorite indie comic. I'm gonna be a ham and say anything these guys create. Smart man.
Good answer. That's a good call.
Company man, I like it.
Just toe that line. That line. Love
and
it.
Shout out to Jeff. Quick shout out. He's one of the House of Nerd Show.com website contributors, man. Cooking up some great reviews. Go and check it out. He's got some stuff dropping on the website in the next couple of days. Yeah. And Cookie, who's Canada are you talking about?
Mine.
Adrian's for sure.
Adrian's or
Adrian's. Like the sailor's cool, but the skateboarding is pretty dope.
Let's be honest.
But Adrian, is your stuff Canadian? Is it?
You know what? It is from. God damn it! I need my reading glasses. Fucking hell. It's Canada, Hamilton, Collective Arts Brewing Limited, Hamilton, Ontario.
Look at that. Okay.
There you go. Your neck of the woods ish.
That is very close. This is brewed in Toronto, so
Where, Chris? Where are you?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay, so you're like just above me. I'm in LA.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's right.
Brendan, where are you
coming to us from?
Oh, I'm in Montreal.
In Montreal. There you go. Look at us. Look at us getting all the corners of the Americas. Yeah. Nice. So all that out of the way. So what are we doing now? Are we just taking our pants off, or how are we? What's next there? Are we gonna just get into our list? Should we talk about?
Mine are already off, so I don't know what you guys are doing.
I don't know. Should we talk about like what we kind of like? What did we watch this week? Kind of little porch talk. What do you figure?
I'm gonna plug something really quick. I know everybody's flipping out about Barbie and Oppenheimer, but you guys got to go see Cobweb. My friend wrote this movie, and it's like an original horror film, and it's just it's like the perfect Halloween film. Unfortunately, it came out on like the weekend where it's like the 2 top dogs. But like this movie's really cool, and it's just awesome to see a friend get that landmark.
That's rad. Nice. Trey.
So
cool.
theaters? How do we see it?
Yeah, it's in theaters. Cobweb.
Nice.
Sick.
Cobweb. Okay. Brendan, what about you? What'd you watch? What'd you read this week? Anything interesting?
There's the new Superman cartoon.
With
my Adventures with Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. How was it?
Jack Wade. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
Very like charming, I would say. I guess like it's a cute personality to it. A lot of sort of anime inspired, but still Western animation. But
you know, it's funny with DC. I always have this conversation with my daughter. She's a DC fan. It's like there's always like whenever there's like the live action. It's funny with DC. The talk of the live action comes out. People bitch about the casting. The trailer comes out. Everyone's got their hand down their pants, right? They're like, "Oh my god, this is DC's comeback." The movie comes out. Nobody fucking sees it, and the people that don't see it bitch about it, and then the movie bombs, right?
Yeah.
And it's like whatever, right? But I'm telling you, man, DC's got to really put focus on their animated stuff because. For me, I find DC's animated like completely laps Marvel. Like that's their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they need to expand on that. Though I love their live action as well.
I think though, like the Batman movie with Pattinson, like it's when they try to add in everybody. Like stop trying to add in everybody. I like Batman doesn't work as soon as you put him with Superman or his other pals. Batman only works
On his
when
own.
he's by himself on his own. At least in movies. I guess comics you can do anything, but like movies, like come on, it just doesn't work, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Actually, I don't know. What do you guys think of the Flash? Anybody see the Flash?
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw it.
And?
I saw it because Michael Keaton's in it, and I just am like, Michael Keaton, he's my guy. I grew up with Michael Keaton, you know?
Yeah.
I thought some of the CGI, like people complained about it, but like, wow, some of the CGI was like fucking ridiculous.
It was pretty dodgy at times.
It was like what I felt like I was looking at a lot of like pre-effects stuff where it was
Yeah.
like, this is the concept, and then I was like,
Yeah,
but
proof of concept.
it's on the big screen though.
It'll
So
look way better when we
Yeah.
finish it.
yeah, some of it was just like, whoa, I like this is passable now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that it didn't do as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically considered a bomb. I mean, I know it made like 200 million, but it's a bomb apparently. And
It's
whatever.
coming back though.
And then, video on demand. It's like,
VOD. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's just like I really love that movie. I quite liked it a lot. So, Chris, what about you? What'd you watch, read, or whatever this week?
So I finished Secret Invasion.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I commented on I think the tweet you did. I think no spoilers. Oh, well, on anything.
Yeah, no spoilers anywhere.
I will say this. I
Indeed.
think the hate is crazy. I think now it's cool just to hate anything Marvel. If this was one of the first series to come out, now they've done too many TV shows, and we can talk about that. But if this was, say, the first one or the second one, people I think would have loved it. Honestly, I think they made a lot of mistakes with some characters. I won't reveal anything.
Yeah.
That I understand the hate because, good Lord, I think there were some really big mistakes. But on the whole, the acting and I think I don't know. I thought it was way better than what the reviews I have read have said, and how they've just completely like torn it to pieces, like how it's just garbage.
Oh, yeah, it's totally overreaction, right? To me, it's just a grounded spy movie. Well, grounded with like aliens, but whatever. Anyway, but no, I thought it was good. I thought the acting in it was good, and it's funny. It's like I just remember like first episode, I was kind of like, this is kind of whatever. But it's funny how it just kind of slowly gets to you, right? It just kind of seeps into you, and so I'm gonna watch it again, all in one run. Because I find with Marvel shows, that's usually the best way to watch them is all episodes in one binge, right? Because it feels like they take a movie and just kind of fragment it, right? Like,
they do, totally.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was exactly that. If that was just a standalone movie, fuck man, it's to me it would be a good movie. Like I liked it a lot better than like Black Widow. That should have been in the theater as opposed to Black Widow.
I 100% agree about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Widow was just fucking what a.
She fell from a building and she got up. I thought that was the moment. Like she has super serum in her blood. I was like, oh shit! This whole time, that kind of makes sense. And then they just didn't say anything about it. She just kept being a human. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
I think
the whole
they're just like,
is like, holy shit.
They're rushing too much. I think putting stuff out, like they're rushing. Like it's like, oh, we have Disney Plus now, so we need 12 shows like right now. So everything is just like too fast. They need to chill out and just make it good. Just make it good, and everyone will love it. Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing that unfortunately, I remember, like with growing up in the 80s and 90s, whatever, was the rareness of something like Star Wars was rare, right? You had your 3 movies and then fucking nothing, right? You had your fan art and comics and all the literature and all that, right? And that, but in terms of like movies and shows and that, there just wasn't anything, right? I mean, fucking the Battle of Endor, right, in the 80s or something like that, but no one gives a shit. But yeah, it's too much, man. It's so watered down, and like, man, that's just Disney, right? Disney just kind of takes whatever and just like fucks the living shit out of it, basically knocks it up, produces like a dozen kids and then takes off, right? You know what I mean? Like they're
then they don't want to take care of the mess.
Fucking Disney's like the worst fucking father. You know what I mean? Like they're terrible. So they absentee parents. So, but anyway, so now they're coming on, and Bob Iger kind of had his list of why Marvel isn't doing as well, and it's just like shit that people have been talking about for the last few years, right?
It's a quick buck, and it's whomever's in power needs to meet numbers, and they got away from what made their whole company, and that is taking the time to make quality films. It took a decade, and that's why DC failed, because they're like, all right, shit, we need this tomorrow, and it was just a disaster. And now they're doing that, and it's just like, what? This shouldn't shock you.
Like, I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I find with DC, I thought DC had it right, honestly, when they brought on Zack Snyder to do his thing and to build his universe. Like, I'm a fan of the Snyderverse. I am, and I don't know. I don't know. They had it, then they lost it. They just fucking gave up at some point, and then handed the keys over to James Gunn, and I don't know, man. It doesn't really sound like Gunn's universe is going to be off to a great start. Like, it sounds like Blue Beetle is going to be tracking for like a $50 million opening, and like
that's crazy.
A full run of 50 mil. Like, holy fuck, right? So it's funny. I was talking to my daughter, and she's just like, this movie should not have been made. They should have at least maybe done like a Booster Gold Blue Beetle movie, like a team up, like a buddy movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Show a little bit of comedy, a little camaraderie, or something like that. But you can't take. Well, I don't know, man. Like, it might work for Marvel, but you can't take an obscure DC character like that and just like fucking push it out of the nest.
Hope that it's a home run. Yeah. I mean, I know it worked with like Guardians, but like that was a little different too.
Yeah. But Marvel was.
They're already. You're right. They were already climbing and climbing.
Seriously,
and then Gunn is inheriting that, though, right? They're just like, sure, he's now the first character who is like the official character of this new. Like,
this is good. Yeah,
no pressure, dude.
No, that's wrong. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, what are they gonna do after Blue Beetle, like, takes a shit on the sidewalk, right? Like, then what are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. And it's like Superman Legacy. I love Superman. I always get excited for Superman properties, but I got this sinking feeling. I don't know why. I think by the time it comes out, people are just not going to give a shit. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. So I always cheer for DC.
What do you think of the casting? I mean, the guy's got the look.
He's got a good voice. Did you ever like hear him act? Like, he's got a good, deep, whatever. But the thing is, though, it's like, I don't know. Like, you think they should have stuck with Henry Cavill?
Honestly,
not if it's a new direction. Yeah. I don't think so. It's almost like a James Bond type thing. It's like you just kind of have to start over, even though he's great. He's great. I think he was spot on. But I get it. Like, it's just a lot of that baggage comes with him, and it's not his fault.
Yeah. I agree. So, I will see. I mean, I like how they're separating, like, with the Batman and Joker. That's like, what are they calling that? DC
Elseworlds?
I guess Elseworlds, like the comic series. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Keep that separate from whatever, and I hope they expand on that. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, same time though, DC's had some great shit, like like the Sandman show. Was fantastic.
I was very pleasantly surprised. That felt like, just having read it, I was like, oh shit.
I never read Sandman. So I went in just like completely unknown.
Have you read it since?
No.
Oh.
I can't be bothered. I don't know. What's funny? It's just like, I don't know. There's sometimes there's sometimes
man? Read the first trade and put it down and don't forget about it. Read the first trade. For real. The first trade is excellent.
I am such a I don't know. It's like I need to have really bright, pretty pictures, and then just things kind of grab me. When it's like dark and gritty and all that, I'm like, oh fuck, do I got time for this? I don't know. It's just maybe it's the Marvel in me. I'm not sure. So yeah,
the Marvel in me. That's a good way to
put it. That's funny. So actually, like, speaking of it, so I picked up this just off the cuff.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is, right? And it's like, I just saw the cover, and I just like all of a sudden it's
Daniel
like, oh,
style or something.
And it's like it's all black and white.
Hey, can we do it?
Anyway, it's all black and white. This shit's dirty, man. I'm like, huh? Like, I honestly, I just flipped through it just before the show. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Is there no dialogue or anything?
Oh, there's dialogue. Oh, there's dialogue. Yeah. But anyway, so it's like shit like this. Like, that's the shit that I grab, right? I just love. I love simple illustrations with a pop, right? That I can see it across the room, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, Sandman. It's like Watchmen too. It's like I feel awful. It's like I kind of made it halfway through the Watchmen book. I'm like, oh fuck, I got no time for this. But I'll get back to it. I'll get to it. So I love the movie.
Oh, they're actually going to be making an animated Watchmen movie next
That's
year.
right.
Too.
Yeah, they just announced that. Yeah. Nice.
That
Nice.
sounds about right. That sounds like they could. I did like the HBO Watchmen TV show though quite a bit. I thought it was
Dude, I thought it was brilliant, and way before it was
well
before
done.
all that shit in reality. Dude, I don't know why that doesn't.
Like
no
the
one
first episode of it was
happened.
just like, oh my god, this show is insane. And then like it just kept being really smart. All the characters were really, really interesting. And that's like, okay, if you're going to make a Watchmen thing, like forget about the comic, just make like play with that world.
And that's DC doing their thing, right? DC, like I said,
job.
They're usually successful with their shows and with their animated stuff, right? Like even even the CW, right? Like when Arrow first came out, right? I mean that did really well, right?
It did, yeah.
Branch off to the Flash, and then Gotham. I fucking love Gotham. Right, I just man, I
didn't
really
watch any of those. I
didn't watch any of them either.
They got so bad.
I didn't want.
They got so bad as it went.
Is your daughter into that stuff? How old's your daughter?
She's 20.
20. Okay, was she into that stuff too, or no?
No, she found it cheesy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she prefers the animated, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just finds like the story.
All right. What's your favorite DC animated movie?
Who, me?
Yeah, or all of you guys.
Fucking hell. What is my favorite?
I mean, it's obvious, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I like Red Sun a lot.
Superman Red Sun.
Yeah, there's also a Deathstroke one that came out a couple years ago. Shit, I can't remember it now. I'm terrible with remembering names.
Are you thinking of Mask of the Phantasm?
I mean, that's the one, right? I mean, that's the one that I'm thinking of. That's such a good movie.
Yeah.
That's the Batman I grew up with, like the Michael Keaton and that kind of animated series stuff. I just I love that vibe.
Yeah,
that's like the gold standard of cartoons,
Yeah, like the like the Batman animated series. God,
yeah,
fucking everybody watched that.
Oh, dude,
I think my mom even watched. I
don't know how spoiled we were. I was watching it like that was just part of my life,
part of like your cartoon.
I was like, you just didn't know, right? You just
like how good that was,
this, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just really, really well done.
Yeah, it's just incredibly done. The best version of Batman that we've probably gotten.
Oh yeah, Knights and Dragons. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, I'm sure that's what it was. Fuck, watch, he's just making it up. No, I'm sure it was Knights and Dragons.
Jeff Zombie's on.
He's on it. He's on. Jeff
Zombie. He's not playing around.
Nice.
He's not playing around.
I feel like I got a
you know what? I wanted to touch on just real quick. You were talking about the Blue Beetle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think because, and Jeff's asking here, wouldn't Blue Beetle be as hype as Ant-Man though? I feel like I was thinking it would do something like Shazam #1-ish numbers,
Yeah.
Which is not bad for I think just because the position it's put in now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of folks they don't care about what DC is putting out film-wise right now because it doesn't matter. It's not part of the new universe going on. I know Gunn has said it's the first film, but it's not his. It's not. They didn't.
Yeah.
He's kind of just putting it in to the universe. Right?
Yeah, I think it's a good point.
And the lack of promotion and stuff.
Do you guys know who the villain is of this movie? I have not seen one shot of a bad guy, so I don't care. I like the bad guys. I don't. If there's no one he's going up against, what do I care?
Yeah.
I think it's probably another alien suit entity. Well,
it's going to be another Beetle. Yeah, it's going to be another Beetle probably. But yeah, you're right. They didn't show it, but that's probably another CGI Beetle.
Almost like Ant-Man, right? And that was the kind of
Yellow Jacket, right? Yeah.
And
then he's going to
another person who's a dick who gets a suit.
Is a dick, yeah.
But Ant-Man had the opportunity to do something creative when they were little, fighting on that Thomas the Train set and stuff like that.
That was funny.
And at the time. That was really fun and I haven't seen something like this.
Well, because it still has some of the writing from Edgar Wright, right? Who did the original script for Ant-Man, right? Before he,
I would have loved to have seen his version.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
Dude.
Yeah, it's too bad. So I was kind of hoping he would get another shot at it, but
Ant-Man 2 was an abomination. I'm just gonna say that. Ant-Man 2.
It looks like Ant-Man 3 was too, though. With
that
guy
Ant-Man 2. I didn't mind Ant-Man 2.
You did?
I did actually. Yeah. 3 gets worse every time you watch it. I've watched Ant-Man 3 times, and it's gotten worse each time.
I have Avengers 8. It's the debut issue of Kang, and Jonathan Majors tanked that comic, and it's not worth anything anymore. And I was like hoping to flip it. No, I just like stuck with it.
With his antics in real life.
Yeah, come on. Man.
Yeah, with his antics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. These guys. Come on. Like
you can't be a fan of anybody.
You can't.
As soon as you are, you're gonna find out some really messed up stuff. And like,
never meet your heroes.
Fuck me, man. It's like when Kevin Spacey got got charged for like
he got got,
right?
But he just.
I know, right? Yeah. That's funny. It's like I go to my wife, like
the court of law.
Yeah, I said to my wife, I'm like, guess who got acquitted, right? Because she knows I like Kevin Spacey, right? Well, I like his acting, right? I don't know what he's like, but so now I'm like, allegedly.
Oh shit!
All his movie credits will say allegedly in front too.
No, but he looks like a weirdo. He looks like a weirdo.
Oh yeah, he's a dirty fucker, right?
Yeah,
you damn well know that. So these fucking guys, like,
he had those weird response videos to these very serious
like he was basically
by the fire.
Yeah, right. What the?
Like, this is not.
That's how you do it. That's how you handle it.
Dude, I don't know about you. It's like if I'm like. But if I'm a celebrity and if I'm like $1 million actor and my life's whatever, I'm not dating a 15-year-old boy. That's the last fucking thing I want in my life, right? Like I'm dating like some I don't know, somebody in their 30s or something that's got a little bit of meat on her. You know what I mean? She likes to eat, kind of thing, and all that.
She's traveled.
What the fuck am I gonna do with a teenager, right? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Like, I don't understand these guys.
What are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like power. It's like full on power tripping. It's messed up, man.
Oh my God, it's just so. It's like Bryan Singer, right? It's like everyone knew Bryan Singer, like the boys, right? But they kept giving fucking X-Men movies. You know what I mean? Not anymore, though. Not anymore. So I don't know what he's doing.
Pop Scars is a lot about this stuff.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, sweet Jesus, American Beauty.
That might be a good segue to get into. We've got some dope creators here, content creators here. Speaking about Pat's, Pop Scars. I got some.
Hey,
where'd I put those bad boys? Here we go.
Woo!
Look at that.
Dang.
That's sexy,
so good, dude.
That's sexy. I just want to say, listen. I think I came across your IG page, Pat. And right away, man, I loved everything about the look of this book, from the character design to the color choices you're using, the art, the aesthetic, everything, man. It's mint. I love it, man. And why don't you tell the folks what Pop Scars is all about, man?
You're touching on stuff that I like. Pop Scars started from a short film I was making, and like once it was over, I felt like I couldn't leave that world, so I drew Pinky. And once I kind of drew Pinky and kind of combined her with the short film world, just so many doors started unlocking in my head about how I can tell this story and how I can kind of attack Hollywood, because living here, I feel like I see a different side that they show on TV. It's very different when you're working on movie sets and walking around Hollywood Boulevard than like what it sounds like. The dream, I'm coming out here to make movies. It's going to be awesome. But it's really, really different, and it's really hard, and it's really shitty. People will take advantage of you left and right. And I got tired of that. And, I've been working on this story since 2017. So it was just like developing. And I was working on Hollywood Boulevard on a TV show as a camera operator. And
nice.
I would just walk the streets and film Hollywood and just collect information about the city. And it just all kind of fed into this. So then when I finally found Santi and showed him, my short film and the character designs, he kind of, he got it. He got what I was going for. And he just went on this ride with me, and we kept pushing each other, and I felt like we learned so much together going through this story, and it was just like I'm really grateful to him that he took this one on with me. It gets tough, and like I think issue 5 is all of our collective best work. I think everybody was just like firing so hard, and yeah, I'm just like really really proud of this work because I put so much into it, so much. Like I've never developed something so deeply. Like I have like notebooks, like 5 subject notebooks, like filled with notes, and I must have outlined this comic like 30 times because I wanted to be right. I wanted to say something, and I hope we did land the plane. I think that was my biggest fear is like, could I land this thing? But I think we did, and yeah, I love it. I'm grateful that this one is mine, and I didn't see somebody else make it before I could, because I felt like that happens where you have these great ideas, and then bam, it's a movie, or bam, it's a comic on the shelf already. So I'm happy Pinky is mine, and I feel lucky we got to do it the way that I always kind of plan to. Like I could show you some like notebook sketches of like thumbnails, and it's like when you read issue 6, it's like the same shots. And I didn't really share that stuff with Santi. It's just like how it like unfolded and like developed. But yeah, it's really rad. I feel very lucky, and I'm very stoked to finally get the graphic novel out.
Yeah, this book, man, it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks when I first came across it. I think it was on Instagram, and I'm trying to think if I just like sent you a note, just kind of telling you how awesome it was. I can't remember how we kind of sort of like.
I mean, you and Chris, I feel like I met you guys at the same time because we were all doing Kickstarters.
It was all around the same time. Yeah.
And like we were all promoting the same stuff at the same time, and it was just like I felt like I could feed off you guys and vice versa. It was kind of helpful to meet like comic peers who can like help push me further because I've seen what you guys are doing, and I'm like, okay, like keep going, keep making this, like you have something here. And like it's important to just like have that, I really appreciate you guys just like, hey, I like this cover, hey, good work on this thing, oh, this book looks sick. It means a lot, you know what I mean? And it goes a long way.
I remember that time. Like we're just like sending these little notes back and forth. What are you doing for shipping? What are you shipping in? It's like little things like that, right? Like what are you doing for?
Who makes your pins?
Yeah, who makes your pins? All that, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, it was like a bunch of old ladies trading recipes, right?
But that helps so much because you.
Oh fuck yeah, it was huge.
You get to learn, and yeah, I really appreciate you guys. It's cool that we can finally talk. I know like. Chris is part of lesser known comics, and now Adrien, you're part of kind of lesser known comics with the Sitter. And that's something like I love that group of like just people who are hungry. They're gonna make comics no matter what. Yeah. So it's like that's what I want to be a part of. That's what I like. I want to be in that ring where it's just like, I'm making stuff. I'm making cool stuff that like I think people will pick up. I think it will catch your eye. And so I'm excited. I think the three of us down the road are gonna do something really dope together. I just, we have to fit it into our
crazy
lives. But
no, that would be fucking sick.
Well, we got that little thread going where we're kind of batting around ideas with Richard, right? So I mean, technically, we're working.
It's percolating.
It's percolating, but it's kind of cool though, right? When you think of it, it's like here we are. It's like we've kind of like known each other virtually for like 3 years now. We've all kind of helped push and promote and all that, right? It's kind of cool, like to have this like little. Just a little group of like creators, you know what I mean? Like that's how it works in this business, right? Like everyone kind of has their fellow creators, and they kind of all come up at the same time, and stuff like they got their.
It's own like with directors,
Yeah,
like,
exactly, right? Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah. So and it's like because like I said, I relate to both your guys' books, and just like the style and like the color choices. Like I'm a big color guy, right? And I find both books like give me that fix and good stories, at the same time. So yeah, so far so good, boys. So far so good.
Jeff is asking for some more Pops cars. I guess something a little bit more than the teaser. I mean, listen, we've got some more. Like look at that shit, man. Like I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
Jeff,
I mean. I tried to make like the most hardcore revenge story I possibly could. That was like my goal. And so like I just let Pinky do her thing, and it kind of took me on a ride too. I was like, all right, if this is where we have to go, then we have to go here. But yeah, I mean, if you like revenge stories, this is the ultimate revenge story.
Oh, I love that page. I love that page. It's got a Frank Miller vibe to
yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This scene was like one I had to fight a little bit for, just because like my editor was like, "Dude, don't do this," and I was like, "But I think I have to do it."
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
Indie comics, folks. Indie.
Yeah,
Was that
comics.
issue 2?
yeah. That was issue 2,
Or-
part of the Kickstarter.
Yeah, because I remember seeing. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you gotta have that, dude. That scene was.
Yeah. It's
awesome.
like, yeah, you do not fucking take that out. That's yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. No, you're good. You're good.
No.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, love it.
Yeah.
That's Jeff's kiss right there.
Yeah,
the
this,
color is killer.
this just we went. It kind of like this was like the turning point of the story where like. So I wrote the scene, and it used to be that the dildo was covered in glass and maple syrup, and and
Oh,
and she
man.
actually beat the shit out of everybody with it. But then I realized that like you have to make your story hard for the protagonist. So Pinky could not have the upper hand here. So I had her get drugged, and she ultimately passes out and gets tied up. But this was like a lesson for me, was like the story should never be easy for the main character. You have to put them through hell, and you have to make it hard, and like
Yeah.
there's nothing given. So like this was like a scene where I kind of had to like revamp a couple times and figure out the right way to allow the story to continue after it.
Killer, man. Yeah.
Love
I-
it.
I- yeah.
I love it, man. It's just a good looking book.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
That's all you want, right?
Yeah.
All right, who's the next? Chris, let's talk about tights.
Tights.
Sure. Oh, yeah, it's I wish I had more time to make more books, but right now it's getting it out into the world and trying to get people to see it and to support it. But yeah, we're this is issue 3. So Edison Neo, who did the cover on the right, he was the artist for issues 1 and 2, and I knew I was going to lose him at some point because the dude is just crazy talented. He's a good writer and a fantastic artist. And so IDW picked him up, and he's doing an 8-issue run for them.
Nice.
And so I was both happy and also selfishly like, fuck. When I heard it, he also did a really cool cover for Ninja Turtles. But yeah, the dude is amazing. But luckily, Kyle Petchak, he did a variant cover for issue 2. And I had him like written in my phone, like the just in case Edison Neo gets picked up, and he was at the top of the list. And so I reached out to him, and he had the time, and he dug the book, and so he was in for being the primary artist of this. And we see his cover on the left, and he's amazing. The dude is such like a positive like light of a human being. He just had a kid, his first kid.
Nice.
So congrats to him,
Nice.
baby girl. And yeah, no, I think issue 3, I like it. I think it has a little less action, but the book for me wasn't just to put out a comic where people are just getting their ass kicked by superheroes. It's just about people, people that are like you and me, or there's a lot of me in some of these characters, and a lot of my wife and my friends and my personal trainer, who is also the personal trainer, Anton, in the book. But it was fun to get more of that after building, because first you have to build the world and the characters, and then you can kind of really get into, well, what is tights? What is it really about? And so I think in the 3rd issue we see that. But yeah, this 3rd one.
Love this cover, man. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So-
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, that is the one I'm getting. And that's the one I did get, because it's so good.
Yeah, I think I did your
Samuel.
your early bird special there. I think I grabbed that.
Oh, thank
Pulp
you so much.
Fiction
Yeah,
indeed.
thank you guys for supporting, man. That
course,
does mean
buddy.
a lot.
Totally.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Samuel Awunzi, who is in Nigeria, he does the covers for, this is on my list of the favorite indie books right now. Magic Powder by Jeff Schiller, who's just a really good dude. And I saw his work there, and I'm like, all right. So he did a James Bond inspired poster for the second Kickstarter, and then I was like, dude, I need to make a Pulp Fiction cover, and he was the dude. So yeah, this worked out really well.
Really nice.
It's super. I'm a Pulp Fiction is probably one of my favorite films of all time. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see. I've got a little Uma Thurman.
Oh yeah,
in the back.
Oh
yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see. They're dancing here. I think it's cut off, but
Here, let me unzoom me here, and let's take a look.
Oh, you do have it in the
you
background.
kind of
Oh,
see.
look at that. Fucking, I got nothing.
I think I saw Santi jump
Oh,
on
that's so
the chat.
sick! Yo, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris.
Oh, it's Santi. Look.
Here you go.
So
Yeah,
I love that
did
cover. Still my favorite cover.
The belly cover.
Yeah.
In a
Fucking love that
completely
cover.
different style.
I love
Yeah.
that
The dude is so ridiculously talented. He pulled this. Yeah, he's incredible.
I would love to work with him again. He has a new book he's working on, and it looks like a Pixar movie. I was just like, saw some of the art, and I couldn't believe how talented he is. Santi, hi, I love you.
Hey, before we move on, Chris, just give a plug to Kickstarter.
Oh, there he is. Here's the man.
There
the
he
legend. Yeah, the Kickstarter is live right now. If you just type in Tights issues number 1-3, you should be able to find it. But yeah, again, we've been very lucky. Got a lot of support early on, but you know how it is, right? That's
You got to
just the
keep
first
plugging,
hurdle,
man.
and we want to keep plugging and stretch goals. We had a lot of fun. The first Kickstarter we did really well, and I by the end of it, we were raffling off Tight skateboards, like good, like full sets for
That's
like
cool.
CCS, not some of the bullshit Kmart stuff, and so stuff you can skate on. And we did a live like drawing at the end, and so I'm hoping that we can continue the momentum, and I can design more skateboards and give them to people.
Right. Oh, it's nice. So, okay, so Brendan, you do your introduce. Let's talk.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so Sequential Magazine is a magazine that I started in 2019, where we interview Canadian indie comics book creators. So they're all up and coming indie creators. And then, we've just reached issue 15. We tried to do 4 a year, but now we're doing 3 a year. Is a better pace for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so for issue 15, we got 2 big names to mark the occasion. So we got Jim Zub and Ryan North, 2 bigger time Canadian creators now, but they have indie roots. So we interview them to talk about their indie beginnings and then how their careers have evolved from there. So we got on the cover, we got Jim Zub's Skull Kickers, but then I threw on some of Ryan North's characters as well. His dinosaur from Dinosaur Comics and his latest graphic novel there, Danger and Other Unknown Risks, with Erica Henderson, who was on his Squirrel Girl run. They did a graphic novel together too recently.
Nice.
So yeah, I threw her on the cover there.
I love this. Yeah, I love that this is out there. It's funny because I did not know about Sequential until I think Riley just dropped me a line out of the blue or something or whatever and asked whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And then I kind of checked you guys out. I love this platform, by the way. This is so important. Like, as a Canadian creator. Oh my God. So you got a fundraiser going on?
Yeah. So I've got a crowdfunder to pre-order the book. We're going to be putting it out either way anyway, but this just helps me out to have some pre-orders up front.
Yeah.
So that's on a new crowdfunding platform that just launched last year. It's also a Canadian company, which is part of why I wanted to try it out. But they're a social benefit corporation. They got good values and stuff. And keeps our Canadian dollars in Canada. Sorry, you American guys. But,
respect.
Yeah.
Given
And it was crowdfunder. Is that the name? Is that the name?
Yeah, it's crowdfunder, all one word, but with no e. So it was this like Canadian company that did fundraising for like charitable purposes that they just added this platform on to their existing platform. So it's not like a brand new company. They had a lot of experience dealing with money and stuff, but.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna hit this up, by the way, because like I said, this is so important, right? So like I said, I'm so stoked to actually be in your guys' next issue. So this is awesome. So yeah, definitely gonna plug this thing.
Yeah, thanks. And then on the right, we have the picture of a special bonus issue I'm doing is going to be, I'm picking 10 articles from across the first 10 issues. Since I'm going to be taking some of those out of print, this will kind of replace it for my conventions. And it's, yeah, if you don't have to read all, I mean, they're all separate issues anyway, but if you're not going to go back and read the old ones anyway, then this will just pick a few of them in there. And we'll see how that goes. We might be able to do that every 10 issues or something, have a little series going on there.
Sweet.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're all just interviews mostly. Yeah.
And then your website, what's the website?
Yeah, so Sequential blog actually existed before the magazine, and then I wanted to create this magazine anyway. So there is a sequentialpulp.ca website, and that was actually a Canadian, a different Canadian comic book creator who was running his own blog of Canadian comic book news. So I'm helping him with that too. So there is sequentialpulp.ca, but if you just go to sequentialmagazine.ca, that takes you to my link tree, and that has all the links on it.
Okay. Nice.
Perfect.
Beauty.
Yeah,
okay.
That's great. There was a question here. Excuse me. Jeff is asking, can we get your magazine in the US?
So I mean, we do digital issues. So that's but I could ship it to the US, I guess. I don't have pricing for that like ready to go. It'll vary a bit, I guess. So for the crowdfunder, I put it to Canadian shipping only. But you can still get the digital issues. But if you reach out to me, I might be able to figure it out. Yeah.
Nice.
It might vary depending on where in the US or whatever, but and how many books you want. But it's possible, but
nice.
Otherwise digital is fine. Yeah, we're also on the Global Comics website. That Global Comics Indie website. I reached out to them to make sure it was okay because we're not exactly a comic book, but they had a different magazine already or something, so they're like, well, we let them on, so we'll let you on too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on Global Comics too, so you can read all the back issues there.
Nice.
And I just want to mention that we do have everybody's links. We've got Brendan's link to the crowdfunder. Folks, go out and back. This is great Canadian content here. It's I think I just want to give you a shout out what you're doing for the indie Canadian comic creators. It's like Adrien said, much needed, man. Love to see that, Brendan. So you guys keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah.
And then also got the link in the description to Chris's Tights #3 Kickstarter, man. Let's hit those stretch goals. And then of course, Pat, I wanted to get the order code for the trade paperback dropping. But we'll probably get that. You said next month.
Next month that should be in previews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so rad.
There you go, man. I'm just putting together the slides for all our indies picks. Give me like 2 minutes. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure you won't have too hard of a time putting the time, and then let's get this indie talk rolling, baby.
Should we go take a piss, or how does this work? A little intermission kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Hot mics.
Yeah.
Now, in the industry, we just let them know over the mic. I'm 10-1 situation, baby.
10-1, yeah.
10-1.
10-2 means you're going to be a while.
That's exactly. Don't hit me up over the walkie, yeah. And I think,
but actually, to touch back on you guys' point about community and the different creators, I've definitely heard that from a lot of other creators that I talk to whenever they're giving convention panels or whenever they're talking, giving people advice. One of their best pieces of advice is always to find other creators that are at your level, like in their career. Yeah. And then you form your community and you can help each other along as you grow, because you can, it's great to have mentors who are above you in the industry as well. But if it changes so much over time that like other people who are navigating it the way you are is really helpful. So it's good that you guys found each other and got your group together.
Yeah, it's funny, like it's like people like who get into it, they want to like meet like like the names, right? They want to be friends with the names and all that, but it's
Yeah.
like those guys don't give a fuck, right? I mean, it's like they have their own friends, they have their own group, right, and all that.
Yeah.
So just like I said, just find your peers, find your people, and because honestly, because they're going to be your support, with every new book, you're going to be whatever pushing, right? It's like with less known comics. So Mark like dropped me a line. Oh, like fuck! I think when I did the Trakovi Kickstarter 2 years ago, he bought it and all that, and he's kind of like sort of like every now and then he kind of like make a comment about me doing something with lesser known with Dylan Corbisser. Dylan Corbisser was one of my cover artists, right? And so Dylan Corbisser does Metalhead Samurai. So he's also an Edmonton boy, and anyway, so that's one thing I've liked so far about less known comics is just like this little community, this little hive, where
They're busy, man. They're busy.
Oh, it's fucking great, man. It's like so Dylan.
Awesome. Yeah.
So Dylan in his Kickstarter, he had a T-shirt, and anyway, the one printer in town here just kind of like sort of ghosted him, and then anyway, so he kind of went through lesser known. I think it was Max Flowers or someone else.
Max Flowers and Milo. Yeah.
And so they did the printing for him, right? You know what I mean?
I'm using them now because of that. I'm getting Popstar shirts done because of I saw those Metalhead Samurai ones.
Oh, dude!
Like, oh
so,
man, these are awesome.
Yeah, and so like in my book, The Sitter. So my main character Finn, he's got this particular shirt. It's a baseball shirt. That's what they call it. But it's a V-neck and it's got like two stripes. Kind of old school 70s, right? And in my head, it was like powder blue, and I got the word slut written across in pink, right? And I'm like, I got to find the shirt. I want to print this slut shirt, right? And so I went on, I just kind of like, I shot Mark a line, and like fucking, I swear to God, in 5 minutes, they sent me a link to this fucking shirt. So there's a shirt, and I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna do a slut shirt, right? And so, because we're gonna do the Kickstarter in April, is we're shooting for possibly March, and then so that's gonna be one of the rewards. So, yeah.
Adrian, I'll be please believe I'll be hitting up that slut tier.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. It's funny. It's funny. So it's funny. So like I've always shied away from doing like nudity and any like whatever, right? Because of my kids. Honestly, because of my kids. I didn't want to do shit for the kids, right? Yeah. But now my kids are like university, right? And they're dirty fuckers, right? They don't give a shit, right? And so I'm just like, so anyway, so I'm writing The Sitter, and I just like all of a sudden like I just plugged in like like this 2-page awkward as fuck sex scene. This thing is just like the worst sex. It's a horrible sex. Oh my God, so it's a horrible sex scene, and the dialogue just like elevates it to like complete cringe, right? So I got like basically I got 2.5 pages. I got 3 pages of like nudity and just bad dialogue, but it's funny. It's like so I posted a little kind of whatever. Fuck, dude, I got like 5 times as much response to a post, right? You show a little bit of ass, right? And all of a sudden you're like, whatever.
That's so funny.
What's funny about this is like my daughter. So she's the layout editor for the Trakovi series.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so dude, she is fucking fantastic for editing. She's awesome. Like, yeah. Well, it's because I wanted somebody from another younger generation to kind of like give me a bit of perspective, and she doesn't care to hurt my feelings, right? So which is great. Anyway,
indie comics.
Yeah, so indie comics, yeah. So anyway, so she always joked with me. She's like, Dad, you want to sell books, you got to start drawing some titties, right? Yeah. That's like her advice to me, right? Because she loves anime, right? And, and those are a bunch of dirty fuckers over there, right? I mean, that's just like, that's a cesspool, right? So she's like, you got to cross that line, right? And so I'm like, fuck it. So I just wrote this sex scene. I'm like, holy fuck, right? It's like, yeah, Johnny, ugly people fucking. That's exactly what it is, right? Because I can't draw good-looking people, right? My women are ugly. My guys are super ugly. Like, so anyway, so The Sitter is going to sell based on me talking up this awful sex scene. That's really what it is. So,
Okay.
I love that.
We got at least 2 slut tiered. I mean,
3 for sure.
Huh? 3 for sure. Pat, 4, Brandon. You gotta make it the Finsky, baby.
Fuck, I'm telling you, man.
Pressure,
That's
but,
like a Thanksgiving. That's like a you go home for Christmas with your family and you wear that shirt. You make the statement, you know.
I'm gonna find this. I'll find the shirt here, but
and
yeah.
I mean, Adrian, you can screen share that bad boy. I mean,
Fuck, I got my phone
you got
here.
that on your computer.
I'm an old man. I got no time for this.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, yeah. So this is yeah. So that's the T. I don't know if that.
Let's zoom you.
Ah, fuck! It comes all white. One sec. Right.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of get it.
Anyway, fuck, whatever. Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's like this, like powder blue, and then like it's hot pink, and
you know what though?
I'll say one thing, but do not make it available in black. That's asking for
one color
of trouble.
One color
showing up. You know, we gotta have like something where.
Fuck, dude. You know what? It's funny. Like I've been I don't know what it is. It's like I've been kind of like less inclined to do like multiples of shit, right? So it's like I'm doing a book with Dylan Corvisor and another guy, Christian Bassarab, but we're doing it's called SNFU Tales. We're basically SNFU, you know, the Canadian punk band from the 80s and 90s. Anyway, so we're doing like a horror book where we're taking 4 of their songs. We're writing a horror story based on their songs. We got the blessing from one of the founders of the band and all that. Anyway, so we talked about covers. We talked about covers, right? So Dylan's already started penciling the covers. And we're talking about variants. And we're like, you know what? Fuck variants. We're just going to keep it one cover. That's it. We're going to keep this thing so fucking bare bones, right? I don't even know if we're going to have a t-shirt, you know, like I think we're just going to have just a book and just like, fuck off, just buy the book, you know, just.
The variants could get out of hand, man. Trust
me.
They
get out of hand, dude. You know what?
I got out of hand. I went crazy with variants.
Dude, I'm telling you. I remember I collect. I still read Something Is Killing the Children. I still love that book. It's my favorite book right now, right? And when they hit in issue 16, fuck me, man. I think they had about 30 plus variant covers.
That's extreme.
I'm like, come on. Yeah. It was fucking
You gotta pick.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. But
that's
you know
3.
what?
I was like, good God, what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly, right? And you feel like a drug addict, right? At this point, you're like, I don't need this.
Why do I need 7 copies of the same book? Yeah,
it's so funny that you say that, because I think for me, that was the series as well, where it was too much. I was trying to as many of the variants as possible because I really enjoy the series, and I'm a fiend for this shit. But when you're hitting like legit, it was like 20, 25, 30 fucking variants. I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. I almost completely stopped.
I was so close to. I almost stopped too, right? Yeah, but they kind of scaled it back a bit. But fuck me, it's just like I'm just getting tired of variants, right? It's like enough already, you know. Because I hate going into a store. I'm like, well, I got my copy, and you look over like, fuck, look at that cover, right? You know,
Jeff gets me.
It's a bit much. So I don't know. Anyway, how are we doing? Are we ready to do our lists?
Yes, we are. We're ready to do it. Shout out to Andrew Haley. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have some fun. For those who are just joining us, and for those who have been here from the top of the hour, man, we're gonna discuss right now our favorite indie comics, our favorite indie films, and we got a bit of a drinking game going on. So anytime one of our fellow panelists, if we haven't watched one of their selections, we've got to take a healthy swig from whatever we're drinking. And there you go. My man is ready to bust out the 6-pack. Play along.
Smell that? You want to smell that? There you go. Yeah. Yeah. About the Phillips Brewery. What the fuck is this? It's some box set. I don't know. Anyway, so
there you go. So I'm gonna throw up the slides again, folks. We want you to let us know as well. Top 3 favorite.
Yeah, what are you reading?
Who's going first?
Well, you know what? Let's go in order of the slides here, just to keep it easy. Where the hell did I put that now? Did I add it? What are we going on here? What is this? Oh, that's not it. What is
my shit?
That's your shit.
Shit, I know this.
Oh, that's it. This one.
There's a trailer I made using footage from the short film and new footage I shot.
I remember asking you about this. It's like,
fuck, I love this, dude. I love this.
Do this? It's like, oh, I shot a movie. It's like,
This was really hard though. The short film took 6 years to make. That's Gene Diaz, the guy who did the other cover.
Fuck, that's so rad.
Dang.
That's so
That
rad,
is
dude.
sick. That is sick, man. While I'm looking for the slides, I thought I had them. Can you?
Yeah, look at the slides. Fucking Pat's pulling his dick out. Jesus, bro. Fuck.
I used to cut comic trailers for Humanoids. Do you guys, Humanoids? They're the European company. They put out like sci-fi comics, like the Inkall and like Jodorowsky stuff. No.
So you used to make like the moving comic trailers?
For a couple of years, I used to cut the trailers for them. Maybe I did like 5 or 6 of them. So I kind of got a little bit like familiar with editing like comic images and stuff,
Oh, dude, that's so pro. Yeah, that thing is so badass.
Thanks, man.
And Trakovi has its own fucking theme song.
I got a song.
I got
a theme song. Fucking rights, man. I love my theme song. It's a fucking good song,
dude, that song is really just like objectively, just as a song in itself, in the video is awesome.
Yeah,
I remember watching it. I was like, "This is fucking good."
And it's on vinyl too. That's the fucking funny thing.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude. Yeah. So hold on a second. I was like,
the show and tell.
Show and tell.
There's so many things on my shelf I would love to grab it. Oh, check this out. Oh, check this out.
I know.
All right. So this is from the Kickstarter 2 years ago. So we did.
That's so rad.
So anyway, so Dubious, he is an MC out of Lethbridge, Alberta, which is like, I don't know, 4.5 hours, 5 hours south of me. And so anyway, so I had these singles, right? A dude out of fucking Tennessee. And this guy was like, FF Records, out of Tennessee. And it was funny, man. Like, so these are vinyl cut. Lathe cut, and it was so funny. It was like, fuck, he just kind of like disappeared on me, right? Like I sent in the order and all that. I couldn't get a hold of him for fucking a couple of months, and we're getting close to the Kickstarter. Holy shit! And it just fucking showed up one day. Kind of thing.
That's a really cool perk.
It sounds good, man. Yeah. So it was a pain in the ass, but fuck, man, it was a nice reward. We're actually thinking of doing that with the SNFU Tales. We're gonna do a Kickstarter for that, and then we're gonna do a song. Okay, who's this?
Shit, I'm up first.
Nice. Okay, buddy.
Who's not seen these movies? Come on.
I have seen. I haven't seen Blue Velvet. I have
not seen Blue Velvet either. So here we go.
You guys got to get to work. David Lynch just watched all his shit.
Yeah. Oh, this is skanky beer.
This is your top.
Brendan, have you seen these
indie films?
No.
No.
None of them. You must not Dazed and Confused. Oh, yeah, at least Dazed and Confused.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, man.
You must. If you have not.
I love see Dazed and Confused, right? Matthew McConaughey's debut.
Dude, he was trying to be a director, and they're like, dude, you want to be in this movie?
What's his line in there?
Ad-libbed Livin.
Like the girls the girls stay the same age or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, the older I get, the same age. Yeah. Fucking right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit. I mean, this is pretty easy here. So, Tarantino. I mean, I don't know. Pulp Fiction is probably my favorite movie of all time. Mm-hmm. Reservoir Dogs. I just think it's when you can make like a play, you can make a movie, and it is a self-contained one. You're on one set, and you can make a fantastic edge of your seat, fucking thrilling, entertainment piece just with people talking. You have succeeded, and I think seeing that movie, I think, just opened the aperture to me to like what is kind of possible with dialogue. I just love when people are just able to master that, right? Not rely on anything other than the characters and what they're saying. And so, yeah, dude, that movie has a good place in my heart. Pulp Fiction, technically, I think could maybe qualify as an independent.
What's indie? What's indie? Because
what is indie?
I picked 3 movies that were under, like they were like under $500,000 budgets.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drink for all 3 of those probably.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start now, dude. Fuck.
Well, that's the thing is we could have just like an hour discussion on what qualifies.
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
But I
indie,
do think
right?
Reservoir
But-
Dogs is indie, where I think Pulp Fiction is a studio film.
Yeah, that's like Miramax, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
that's
like
fair.
yeah.
But Reservoir Dogs is like so raw. It's just like
Yeah.
it feels like that. It feels like he didn't have it figured out, so he was just giving us his best, and his best was like better than most people's first goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Incredible debut. Yeah.
All right, next one.
And then, Days and Confused, I think, is to this day the best. Steelers wheel. Holy shit. Yeah, that scene. Days and Confused, I think, is the best high school movie ever made. I think, even though it takes place in the 70s, for me, it's the closest to the reality of like what I experienced. There wasn't the jocks versus the nerds. It was everyone had their cliques, and your clique could have two of your friends or friends with another clique, and y'all were hanging out, right? And it was just, it wasn't like this adversarial thing. Sure, there's dicks, and from all sides, but most of the time it was just everyone's just trying to find some stupid party to go to and hang out. And the whole movie is just so well done and so realistic, and just the characters, again, it's just going back to the characters and just how they interact. And I don't know, to this day, I don't think I've seen a movie, what's up, Oscar, that has nailed the reality of high school. At least what I experienced.
I agree.
And,
like the bush party at near the end, right? My favorite scene is when I love the scene where that one trio, the two guys and the one redhead, they're kind of walking. They just got to the party, and the one guy he makes a comment. He goes, "Oh, someone's smoking pot." And then the one guy, he's like, "What'd you say?" Right? Fuck, dude. We all went to school. We all went to school with the "What'd you say" guy. We fucking all went to school with that guy, right? We had friends of the "What'd you say" guy, right? You're like, fuck, do we have to do this right now, right? There's always that one guy, right? Fucking drop of the hat. What'd you say? Right? And it's like, oh shit, you're like pulling him off or whatever. And oh god, that movie's shockingly accurate. That movie is.
It's just one of those where anytime it's on, it's like one of the most rewatchable movies of all time.
Yeah, it's right up there with like Fast Times at Ridgemont High for high school movies. Like it's like they're dead heat for me.
So I was gonna say when Chris, you had said probably the best high school, right there with Fast Times, I think, for me.
Dead heat, fucking dead heat. Yeah. I'd probably throw Breakfast Club in there too. It's more of an isolated story, but but you had all the demographics. We all had those demographics. The jocks, the stoner, the popular girl, the goth girl, and the nerdy guy.
I'm going to ask real quick. We'll start at the top. If you had to be put into a group, which group would you guys belong to, Chris?
Oh fuck, I don't know what group that would be. I guess it would be more the stoner group for sure.
Yeah.
Same.
I played lacrosse, but it would be stoner over a jock.
Yeah.
Brandon,
what do you got?
Would you say you fit in any group? Did we lose Brandon? We lost your audio, buddy.
I think he's
you're
on
muted.
mute.
You're mute, bro.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, definitely the nerds hanging out in the library at lunchtime on the computers, just on the computers going on the internet, like.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the nerd hanging out in the art room. We just hung out in the art room all fucking day, right?
Okay.
Sergio, where were you, buddy?
Man, honestly, man, I went through my different phases. I was the raver kid, man. I was the punk rock. I was
punk rock for sure.
All that stuff, man. So like, I went through. So I was figuring myself out.
Fuck, we all go through those phases, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, I wouldn't fit into one. What's Jeff saying here? He's considering the episode of the House of Nerd Show. Wait a minute, who put the Kagan all the way out here in the woods?
Yeah, he's a fan.
Oh man,
nice.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, your third choice, buddy. What do you got?
So this one, honestly, the first two I've seen probably a million times. Blue Velvet I've seen a handful of times, but it's in there because I just have good memories of my stepdad. He was just kind of plugged in. He was younger than my mom. He was a super like chill, awesome dude, and like introduced me to Camper Van Beethoven and just like cool
Oh, nice.
music. And yeah, we watched this movie. He would watch these movies with me when I'm like 12, 13 years old. And so they are like very, because he wanted to watch them, right? And so they're very adult, right? It's David Lynch and fucking just this movie's insanity. But just that making like that connection, right? It's not really the movie itself, which is actually really well done and it's great. And I remember Dennis Hopper,
Dennis
Frank
Hopper,
Booth
man.
doing the fucking nitrous.
Ah!
Heineken, what are you drinking? Heineken?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Pabst
Yeah.
Blue Ribbon. I remember wanting to drink Pabst Blue Ribbon when I grew up, like after like seeing that movie. So that one to me was just like, it just holds like a nice nostalgic, I don't know, memory part in my brain. But it's also a really good movie. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
Okay, man. You know what? I haven't seen that, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'm gonna watch it. I probably have seen it. I'll be like, oh fuck yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you'll remember parts of it for sure.
Dennis Hopper is like the standout for sure. He just like takes it to a whole new place where you just like, oh god, this is perfect.
Real quick, I just want to. There's something about Kyle MacLachlan. I don't know. I can't stand it, man. What is it about? I don't. You just rub me the wrong way.
Fair enough.
I know, dude. Right? Like fucking Dune, the original Dune. I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right.
It's bad shit.
Sure. I love the remake. The remake is a beautiful movie. I'm looking forward to Dune 2. But that fucking original, oh my god, I got no time for that shit.
Jeff knows. Jeff hasn't taken a sip yet. This guy.
Oh man, I don't know if Jeff is gonna. Yeah, he's gonna clean sweep everything, man.
All right, Sergio, what's next? Ooh, look at this. Fuck me, I'm drinking the whole thing.
Yeah, this is me, baby. All under 500 grand.
I don't get out of bed for under $1 million.
I gotta take 2 shots here.
2 out of 3.
So so Dogtooth, you guys should check this movie out if you haven't seen it.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
Because like Yorgos Lanthimos is doing big movies that everyone loves now. Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Favorite, and he has something new out with Willem Dafoe and he plays like Frankensteiners. I don't know what's going on there. But this movie is like extremely trippy. It plays with reality. It reminds me of a movie called like maybe the only movie I could kind of like say this is like similar to would be like Funny Games. Do you guys know Funny Games?
Oh yeah.
Wait, I gotta drink. I don't know.
Shit, okay.
well, Dogtooth is just like, so the thing is like it's a family and these children, there's 3 kids, they can't leave the house until they lose their dog tooth, like their canine, right? And that's like what their parents teach them. Their parents manipulate their whole reality. So like these kids are like our age, but they're like, they have the minds of like 6-year-olds. So it gets into some like crazy territory and it's just, it's a trip. There's no movie like it. Dogtooth is like completely unique. Funny Games is like a distant cousin, I would say. But this is like something I would say you have to be in the right mood for it because it's going to push you. This is a movie that will challenge like the viewing. I think it has the most awkward, like speaking of awkward sex scenes, this movie has the most awkward sex scene. I think as a filmmaker, he's challenging the viewer. He's like, it's an endurance test. Can you endure this movie? You know, I don't know if everyone could. You know, I think people will tap out of this one. You know,
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it.
It's excellent. It's extremely memorable. Okay, so Night of the Living Dead is like, you know, George Romero shot in my home state, Pennsylvania,
classic,
the West Side. But this movie is just. I know zombies are like way overdone now, but like when this came out, like it's like one location. It's like a black African American lead in a horror film, and he doesn't die first. You know what I mean? This movie is like groundbreaking. But it's also like extremely enjoyable still. Like it still hits, you know? And then it spawned his whole career of, you know, he's like the zombie king, but it started here.
Cheers, Jeff. Thank you. Indie. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
fuck you,
fix my
Jeff.
pan here. Ooh.
Oh, it's like fucking Camel Cup. This thing's terrible. Oh, what an awful. Oh,
I gotta go for another one. You guys keep
oh.
keep
Okay,
discussing.
Brick.
Yeah,
What
me
you
too.
guys-
If I drop, I need to move my location. But so if I drop, I'll be right back.
Okay. Hey, Chris.
So-
Pat. Next one.
So have you ever seen or heard of Brick?
No, the poster looks fantastic though.
So Ryan Johnson is, he's a big director now. He did the third Star Wars movie. He did Knives Out. Everyone fucking loves this guy. So Brick is his first film, and Brick it's a high school movie. It's a high school neo-noir detective movie, and
Okay.
it's about so Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it, and his ex-girlfriend gets murdered. And
Okay.
it's about him trying to dive into the different cliques and fit in and figure out the clues and solve what happened. It's
Nice.
an excellent movie.
I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
So this is his best movie
Oh,
because he is just he gets to play. Usually he gets the little side piece role. This is I feel like this is his first big movie since he did Third Rock from the Sun. You know what I mean?
okay.
So definitely check out Brick. You probably will even see some familiar faces in it too. These were some actors probably before they kind of got bigger.
Okay.
Honestly,
But,
you sold me at neo noir, and I think Joseph is underrated. He's great in 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, I love 500 Days. Yeah.
Well, this
Looper.
brought him back. This was the
Yeah.
movie that put him back on the map of oh, this dude can act.
He's good, man. You know what I actually love? Premium Rush.
The bike movie.
The
Yeah.
bike movie? Fucking
Yeah.
love that movie, hey? Oh my god, with Michael Shannon as a bad guy. I fucking love Michael Shannon can only play a bad guy, and that's all I need him for, is just to play a bad guy. He's got the creepiest fucking laugh, right?
Michael Shannon's great, yeah.
You know?
Michael Shannon always is good, man.
Oh god, dude, that guy's money. Absolute
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love him. I love him.
Those are my indie picks. I not my favorite movies, but I thought,
Dude, these
as
are
far as,
good.
indie
Great,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be sold. I'm actually looking forward to Dogtooth and Brick. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm on vacation now, so I'm gonna knock these two out. So
100%.
I'm big into creators' first thing they make. What's the first? Hey, Chris, you're back. What's
look
the
at this guy, fucking changing scenery. Nice.
I know. It's a whole different. It's a whole new vibe. He's all,
I should have come back with a
now.
completely different outfit.
Fucking AI, Chris, probably.
Holy shit. I think
Yeah, what is real?
who's up next? Oh, that's not the oh no, that's not it either.
Yep.
Let's see.
Nope.
I
There you go.
fucked up.
Ah, it's me.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me.
Okay,
I
there you
love
go.
all these
Okay.
movies.
All right,
Well done.
yeah.
Here we go.
Boys. Okay, so I love Kevin Smith. I love Kevin Smith movies. It's funny, I watched Clerks 3 again last night for the umpteenth time. I like Kevin Smith because Kevin Smith, he could either have really cringy, almost amateurish type dialogue and moments where you're like, oh god, dude. But then when he gets into the more sensitive stuff, fuck man, he can really nail it, right? He can get really personal, all that. Chasing Amy. It's funny, Chasing Amy for me was the movie that made me want to make comics. Right? I loved the opening scene where we're there at the Comic-Con, and the whole argument about about a tracer, right? And it's he's trying to defend being an inker, right, and all that. And I just love the dialogue, the interaction, right, between Banky and the comic fan, and then just the whole interaction with the other independent comic creators and all that, and like I said, I just love, like I said, like for me, Kevin Smith, like I said, I love his dialogue. He kind of came out around the same time as Tarantino, and both those guys, they came under the Miramax family as well. But both those guys, to me, when they put together dialogue, they put it together well. You know what I mean? And I find if a movie's got good dialogue, I'm hooked. So anyway, so from the opening theme to whatever, right? I adore this movie, right? I was gonna pick Clerks, which I love. I love all the Clerks movies, to be honest. But like I said, this one is more personal for me because, like I said, it just put me on a path to to making a comic, right? So anyway, so that's that one. Train Spotting. Listen, I mean, fuck. I mean, like who doesn't love Train Spotting? Like the
I just
soundtrack.
put this on my list. Yeah,
It's one of the greatest soundtracks ever. You know, there's some really uncomfortable moments like with the dead baby. And then you know, Begbie had like some of the greatest moments ever, you know.
Yeah.
You know, where he's just like
He's
throws drinks back, right? He comes down, he just like, you know, he's like, who the fuck you, whatever, right? You know,
Robert Carlyle, he's insane, man.
and you know too, it's funny it's like when Train Spotting 2 got announced, I was kind of reluctant. I was kind of like, but I gotta tell you, man, I think I almost prefer Train Spotting 2 over Train Spotting 1.
fucking thank you.
I'm
It is
telling you,
so
man.
good. It's one of the best
Really?
sequels of all time.
Fuck, I'm
Really?
telling
Is
you,
it that
man.
good?
Listen,
I
I'm
haven't
telling you,
watched
so
it yet.
good.
It is
Listen,
good.
Train Spotting 2 is like the perfect representation of aging to me. You know what I mean? Like everyone was just watching all like the original actors of how they've grown and how they interact with each other, how they interact with life. It was just like this perfect just perfect progression from the adolescence of the first Train Spotting. The first Train Spotting was like, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? It's just a reckless lifestyle. Whereas like Train Spotting 2 was basically about dealing with, you know, middle age problems. You know what I mean? But yeah, everything about like the Train Spotting, it was like like I said, the music, the imagery, you know, like the whole promotional, you know, the promo, the marketing behind it, and all that was just fantastic. So
The
it was just
surreal stuff. Yeah, the
very
surreal
style. Yeah,
stuff is like the best part of that movie. Is like it like seamlessly bridges into like the dream realm.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah, it just crosses over to like I said, to a surrealist environment. So you know, there's a lot of heartbreaking moments. There's a lot of fucking funny moments, right? Like when Spud shits the bed after that one night stand. he goes walking into where the family's having
like
breakfast, and he's got his sheets, right? And the mother's like, "No, wash it for me."
no.
Wash it for me. The fucking shit flies everywhere. And, oh fuck, man, it's fucking fantastic.
Hey, but listen, I'm gonna clip this. So Train Spotting 2, Chris is agreeing with you.
Yeah,
Better than the original.
you know what's funny? It's funny. It's like, and listen, I love the original, but I find it's like maybe it's almost like kind of when I think about it now, it's like when Train Spotting 1 came out, like I was the age of those actors, you know, and like the whatever. Train Spotting 2, I'm the age of those actors, right? You know what I mean? Late 40s kind of thing, right? So it's funny. It's just like I can relate.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And I just found it's just I find it, like I said, it's just a perfect progression, really. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying, you know, he had a lot of like, you know, nods to the first one and stuff like that. So it's a very nostalgic movie, and it brings up a lot of feelings, you know. You know, if you love the first one, a lot of feelings should be coming up.
I'm gonna have to check it out because, to be honest, I have not seen Train Spotting 2 yet, just because I felt like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know. Yeah, it's like why?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, it's like if you love Train Spotting, you're gonna love Train Spotting too.
Okay,
it's just
Danny Boyle is he's a good filmmaker. So
absolutely right.
You know?
You know what I mean? Like he patched up with Ewan McGregor because they had a falling out with The Beach. Because remember The Beach, Ewan McGregor thought he was going to get the lead because him and Danny Boyle had a working relationship going on, but he went with Leonardo DiCaprio, and so that kind of set off a bit of a feud, and they didn't talk for
How good is The Beach though? The Beach is so good.
The Beach is good. The Beach is good. Yeah.
I love Danny Boyle. Didn't Danny Boyle
too.
Danny Boyle did the Sex Pistols show on Disney as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, fuck, dude. The Sex Pistols show is fucking fantastic. I loved it.
That.
I've watched it about a half dozen times, and I just absolutely completely annihilated that thing. It's fantastic. So, anyways, that's Train Spotting. Goon, I gotta tell you, as a Canadian, I fucking adore this movie. I will fight anybody about this movie. Like, this is like the dialogue is so spot on. I have a brother-in-law who talks exactly like every single fucking person in this locker room. It is so accurate, right? So Jay Baruchel wrote it. And
good old Canadian boy.
real Canadian boy, and he just knows
Popular
exactly.
mechanics for kids, if for those who really know.
And like I said, and I gotta tell you, man, like Sean William Scott is so good in this, and it kills me how he just didn't really get much recognition for how good he is in this. You know what I mean? He's just he's just this simpleton, you know, who he's just a genuinely nice guy. The character is just a nice person. Like he's pure, I would almost say. And he's just an absolute monster. He can fight like a motherfucker, right? And then Liv Schreiber as the aging goon as well, right? You know, I just like some of the dialogue. You know, when Liv Schreiber is like he plays for the Halifax, St. John's. I can't remember the name now. Anyway, so he does his speech, right? So they raise his banner up and all that, and he kind of says his speech, and at the end he's like, you know, and God bless Newfoundland, right? He just kind of has a bit of that Newfie accent to him, right? And you know, and then in the locker room, like some of the banter, right? So when Sean William Scott's character, he gets promoted from whatever team he is to this upper level team. And Kim Coates from Sons of Anarchy, he's the coach of this team. And they kind of flash to him. He's like, you know, I've had enough of you pussies, right? He's just kind of whatever. And then so he gets into the locker room. He meets like, you know, the divorcee captain who like tells him about his failing marriage, right? And then he introduces the one winger who's Asian. He goes, yeah, the Asian people are industrial people. Hey, Berkey, icing them bucks, right? You know, it's just like this, like this is like I've been around these people, and it's like so the writing. I mean, some of the like they kind of cross things a bit, right? You know, it probably wouldn't apply today, but so it centers around like you know, so Sean William Scott's character has to he helps rehabilitate Xavier Laflamme, who is like you know he was a high draft pick. Who kind of like basically fucked up his life through cocaine and whatever. And when Sean William Scott, he goes, where's Xavier Laflamme? And then the captain goes, he's probably in a parking lot giving a single mom herpes. I was just like, fuck, you know. I was just like, but this is how we talk. This is how Canadians talk. Like if you're from the States, and you want to know how Canadians talk, watch Goon. I swear to fucking God, just watch Goon.
It's a great movie.
And you're gonna
really
like.
I've never watched it, but I somehow you guys have sold me again.
Dude,
it's so good.
And anyone can watch it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a hockey fan. You do not have to be a
Okay.
hockey fan. That's the thing. But if you're a Canadian,
it's a great hockey movie.
It's a great hockey movie. But as a Canadian, it is so Canadian. It's like. There's a moment where, you know, like, fuck, they play like a Chilliwack song. And for you guys, Chilliwack was a band from Calgary. It was popular back in the day and whatnot. And it was just so fucking perfect. It's a perfect Canadian indie movie. And
right.
Yeah, I can't recommend it high enough. So, yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. That's my run.
Brendan, did we get your movie picks or no?
He's next. Yeah.
Pick, eh?
Brendan's next. Does he got one?
No, I don't. Okay, now that you've mentioned some of these, maybe I could have found some, but no, I'm not as big of a like movie buff that I've like gone back and watched a whole bunch of like older things.
Okay, no problem, no problem. But we got your comic picks coming up in just a second. So I'm gonna do these real quick.
Oh, dude, fuck! I want to see that so bad. Girl Walks Home.
It's great.
Oh my god, bro!
I've read the books. I've read the comics. I love the fucking comics. This one, sorry, I'm
No, it's cool. It's cool, man. Yeah, and I'm glad to see folks excited. The comic from Behemoth, or I guess they're Sumerian now.
Sumerian now, yeah.
Is great.
Yeah.
But as good as the comic is, man, this film for me is
so
easily it might be my favorite all-time indie. It's like, how would you describe, like a spaghetti western inspired black and white vampire film by an Iranian filmmaker, and it's just shot beautifully, man. She's got these kind of wide panning shots throughout the film, not a lot of dialogue, just a gorgeous film. You talk about setting the tone with your shots and your score and everything, man. It's
tense. That movie is tense.
oh,
Like
dude.
building
So,
tension.
you've seen it, Pat?
Yeah, I really like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to see it so bad. I gotta
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah. For anybody who has not watched this, I would say as soon as you can, man. It's just you're gonna appreciate the beauty of this film, man. Not, you know what? I don't know. Black and white film, kind of like comics. They really, it's you can mess it up easily. I think you know what I mean. But she, great, fantastic filmmaker. Lilia Amirpour, I believe her name is. Great film. Second one on the list is Donnie Darko.
Mhm.
Man, when I first watched this shit just messed with me big time. Blew my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Loved it, man. Just the cuts of the what was there a name to the rabbit, to the
Frank or something. Frank, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Frank. Yeah. Yeah. And plus it had the remake of the Tears for Fears song.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I this legit probably might have given me nightmares, man. It was just weird. It was weird. Something about this film was so unsettling, but also just kind of just sat in your mind, man, and messed with you. And then Lost in Translation.
Oh,
I love
this is originally on my list too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this was, I didn't know whether to throw this one in there because it's from a major studio's kind of indie house, right? Distributed from their indie. But I said, fuck it, why not? Throw it in
Yeah,
there.
it's indie. It's indie.
Bill Murray's great in it. Scarlett Johansson. This is probably my favorite film of hers.
Mhm.
Yeah, just an all-timer for me. Love it.
I love also as well with Lost in Translation how they really maintain like the friendship of Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. You know what I mean? Like they never crossed that line to like a romantic relationship. You know what I mean? It never felt like they were going there. It just felt like just a straight up like I said, a straight up friendship. You know what I mean? Like Sofia Coppola really maintained, you know, that relationship between the two. And fuck, I love this. I love this movie so much. I love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Everything, even down to like the last scene where Bill Murray like whispers something into Scarlett Johansson's ear. I love that. I don't know what that is. I don't want to know what that is. You know
and that's one of the great things. So for the folks who don't know, it ends with this great scene. Adrian said it. You know, Bill Murray's character whispers into Scarlett Johansson, and it's very ambiguous.
Mhm.
You know, in multiple interviews, they've never revealed what was said. I actually think Sofia Coppola, the director, she might have said something like, "Just say whatever kind of you want to say, and kind of leave it amongst you and Scarlett," which is really cool.
That is cool.
Really great.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it too.
Great films, yeah.
I love the scene where Bill Murray is at the strip club. Scarlett Johansson goes to find him, and they're at the strip club and they're playing Peaches. And he comes walking in, and she's like, "Where's so and so?" A couple of their Japanese friends. He's like, "Oh, they're taking a dance class." There they are at the table getting a lap dance or whatever. Oh, fucking just. Yeah, the humor there was so subtle, but it was like just fantastic. And then the Japanese prostitute that gets sent to Bill Murray's room, right, where she's like, you know, lip my stocking. And he's like, lip them. What? It's just like he like grabs her stocking and then she like collapses to the ground. She's like, oh, Mr. Hannes. Just like it was so bizarre. It was just like so fucking quirky, and then just like.
Yeah,
like the hospital scene too, where she like, you know, busts up their toe, and Bill Murray's talking to like the doctor, and the doctor's talking to him in Japanese, like they fucking understand each other, right? It's just like, you know, he's just like pointing at this whatever, he's like talking like and that's it, right? And off they go. And yeah, you
mentioned quirky, Adrian. Another charming. I think Lost in Translation is like the definition of this has got a charm to it, man. Just, you know, really.
Oh yeah,
something endearing about this film, man.
Oh, you know, at the end when it's funny, like when the Jesus and Mary chain kicks in, I'm like, oh motherfucker! I remember being in the theater. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Because I love Jesus and Mary chain, and as soon as it's dropped, I was like, perfect, absolutely perfect. Yeah.
So I'm curious, anybody on the panel or anybody watching at home, did you not watch any of these films? Because I know they're not really obscure films or anything like that.
Yeah, Girl Walks Home Alone.
I
At Night,
took
haven't seen yet.
Girl Walks Home
Yeah.
Alone at Night. That's on my. It's been on my list, and now
Okay.
Yeah, I just can't find it.
Thinking
That's the
about-
only thing, right?
I'm trying to remember, where did I stream it from? I might have been like a digital rental from one of the. I don't recall. You know what? Actually, I think it was Shudder. I think I watched
Probably
everything on
sounds
Shudder.
about right.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna hit up the comic side of things now, folks, and let's start off with Brendan's pick.
Yep.
If I can find them.
Oh, Jeff mentioned Strange Brew. He's absolutely correct. Strange Brew was fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that is a classic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not it. Sorry.
Strange Brew? I don't know if I've seen Strange Brew.
Oh.
And there we go. Here we go. So this is Brendan's.
Oh, I have seen that, yeah.
For his favorite indie comics. Right off the bat, anybody not read any of these, please?
I gotta drink them all, baby.
Yeah,
Okay,
1, 2,
there we
3.
go.
Yeah.
I did Monstrous from the beginning, but I am behind. But I definitely read that. Yeah, that book. I'm glad I picked it up way early. But Ducks. That was nominated for some serious shit. I think that's one I want to pick up. But yeah, 1 out of 3. So
there you go.
I'm over 3.
So,
Fucking over 3. Yeah.
starting left to right, I tried to pick my favorite in a few different areas. So the one on the left is my favorite Canadian made entirely, super Canadian indie one, Pitiful Human Lizard. So this is by Jason Lowe from Toronto. It's just like mainly regular guy who gets like the ability to like heal like a lizard, but like that's it. So otherwise he's not like that super, but he can get punched a lot and stuff. And it's just all set in Toronto, and it's just this guy trying to do the best he can with the limited power he has just to be a hero, but like a very low level hero. But he still gets into some wacky situations and stuff. And this was one of the first big successes for Canadian Kickstarter comics too.
I love the cover. That's a great
got
cover.
A lot of press and stuff. Yeah, and he makes it very retro style here. To start with. Did get picked up by this publisher, Chapter House in Canada, which is now renamed their name again or something. But you might still be able to find it. But then, so it was good representation of what like a good indie creator can do with a really clever idea, and bonus for being set in Canada too, I guess, for me. That's gotta be my favorite Canadian indie book there. And then second, Ducks. It's just recently, but I think it will go down as one of the best graphic memoirs in history. So it's Kate Beaton telling her true story of how she moved from Nova Scotia to the oil sands in Alberta to make some money and pay off her student debts.
Nice.
But it's just this like honest look at like what life is like over there in that industry for women, and then the challenges they face, and but just the whole message of like having to move away from where you are from applies to a lot of people I found. So I'm in Montreal now, but I'm originally from Northern Ontario and had to leave for my engineering field of studies and stuff. So I've really related to that a lot, how like just being forced to move and like go off for economic reasons. So there's that message that a lot of people can take away, but then there's the whole environmental concerns too about the oil sands impact on the environment and damage it's doing to Canada, but at the same time, how a woman in that industry could survive living in an isolated camp out there. Anyway, and very simple drawings and stuff, so not like crazy artistically, but like it's so simple and it gets the points across very easy. It's longer at like it's a couple hundred pages long. It's like 200 and something pages long, but like because the drawings are simple and stuff, you kind of breeze through it at a good pace too.
Okay.
That's yeah. I would say probably definitely near the top of my to read list, man. I've been hearing a lot of great stuff, and for the fact that holy Canadian cartoonists, right, doing their thing. And who mentioned it's won like a bunch of awards and things like that. So I mean,
Yeah, 2 Eisners, and
oh
then
yeah,
I think
Oh wow!
maybe like a Ringo or something too, or something like that.
Fucking hell!
there
Wow.
you
It
go.
won this like Canada Reads TV show that our Canadian Broadcasting Corporation ran. It was like the first graphic novel or something to win that. I think it's normally regular books, but
Shit. Okay.
That's big time.
It's on the list.
There you go.
yeah, it's published through this good publisher here in Canada, Drawn and Quarterly. They got all kinds of other great stuff too.
Okay.
And then my third option, I wanted to pick my favorite Image book, since they're obviously big in the indie scene, but they've got a lot of different options there. And a lot of people love this too, I guess, but still flies under the radar for some people too. But yeah, Monstrous is this insanely gorgeous book by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda, who's from Japan, but like the illustrations are just insane on it. And then so you get drawn in by the amazing art, but then once you actually like breathe this world, like you get to know the characters and stuff, it's this crazy horror but like steampunk world of like horror steampunk world where there's these like old gods and stuff, and then there's these like all these like fantasy creatures and stuff, but this lady is like a refugee from like this war that they're going on against like her type of people. I'm actually I haven't actually read it a lot lately, but so I am a bit behind too. But
would you say like a fantasy? It looks fantasy.
Yeah, it's fantasy in like a bit of a steampunk style, but it's like I think it is like Asian inspired in terms of the creatures and everything, their legends and stuff. So there's these like animal hybrid people, like this fox character you see on the front. All the cats can talk. You got talking cats in there. They're this like cute like little undertones in there. It's hard to explain the story, but basically, I'm having a hard time explaining the story, but it's like really
it's super deep, man. It is hard, like to give a synopsis of what's going on in that book. But they do it in a way that they do it, man. Yeah, it is a huge world, an original world with all these gods and history and what's going on, but they do it in such a freaking elegant and thoughtful way that you're just kind of along for the ride and you get it, and that's so difficult, man. Like when you create a world like this, I give the props to these creators because they do it in a really well done way.
I can't do this. I can't write that stuff. Well, maybe I can, but I just like I don't know. I just can't. I really can't. Yeah, no, I have total respect for work like this.
Jeff saying, being of Norwegian descent, I have quite an appeal to Canadian history due to my ancestors arriving in Newfoundland. This is accurate. The Vikings, man, first to settle North America, of course, other than our indigenous people. And Brendan, I love your picks, man. Two other free Canadian content, man. Actually, the pitiful human lizard was going to make my list. But since you had, I love it, man. Like you said, Jason Lowe, just an amazing Canadian cartoonist who's really kind of starting to like rise. He's doing a lot of stuff for Marvel these days. What did he do? He did Strongman, Multiple Man Stories.
Yeah, he's a fan of the X-Men, so he did a couple of those web ones for that. He did like a Cosmo the Space Dog web thing too for Marvel. So he's done some smaller things for Marvel, but then he's also done
All-Nighter.
Yeah, the All-Nighter with Chip Zdarsky. That but they had one of their digital comics won an Eisner too. It was Afterlift. It's called.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's also definitely a great rising talent there too.
Yeah, and it's great. It's fully set in the city of Toronto. And I love it. Like they have like from the art to like there are so many different locations to the streetcars, the storefronts. It looks fully set in this world in the city, so it's great. I loved it, man. Great picks, Brandon, man.
Solid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So who do we have here?
Yuriko.
Whose picks are these?
This is mine.
Now,
Yeah.
Chris, there was
And
one
I'm
I
gonna be
couldn't
the
find.
first nerd
Yeah.
to fall asleep with the sleepover because I think I have to jump after this for
Okay.
kiddo stuff. But no, this is good timing. Yeah. So let's see, my three. Oh yeah. So the one that's not on here is the routine, but I'll get to that in a second. Dude, Yuriko. So this is made by Lesser Known Comics. We talked about this before. One of the super talents there who does everything. Like Adrien, you son of a bitch. You know, he does the writing. He does. I don't know how you guys do it. He does everything, and he has two books going right now: Yuriko and Nerida. And Yuriko, this is about it's like the early 1900s vampire kind of thriller mystery, and it's just so freaking beautiful, dude. This guy, I don't know. His style and his lines, and I don't know. I mean, in the story too is fantastic. Like I said,
I can't wait to get this
Asperger's
book.
who can do everything. Yeah, I'm so jealous.
Fuck, dude.
His other book
Yeah.
is just as good too. About Narita is about essentially a mermaid, but you know it's a very mature. Both these are very mature tales, but yeah, David Luan is the creator, and I really dig it. And it's it's not black and white for black and white's sake, because it's cheaper. It's just it just sets the tone, and just throwing in the red, obviously, because it's a vampire tale. It's just very artful and really well done. Magic Powder. This is done by Jeff Schiller. It's just talking about like good people, right? When we're talking about lesser known comics and just being surrounded by just good humans who want to help other humans in this indie comics world. Oh, there we go.
Thank you. I was waiting. There we go.
Yeah, Jeff is definitely one of those people. And not only is he just a good dude who, if you got a book coming out, he will shout it from the mountaintop, and he's got like a big ass following. He's super talented too, and he's been making this Magic Powder, and he churns these out. It makes me like my stomach churn because it's like, God damn it, he's like starting to lap me, like how many books he's able to get out there. Like,
He needs to
oh
get
my
this
God.
book to Canada. I told him I want to get this book, but he doesn't ship outside of the U.S., which is like,
Yeah, we gotta talk to him about that.
he's got to like I feel like because I don't read digital. I don't read digital. I just like I can't. I just don't. And so it's like
respect it.
I just like, come on, dude. Like, like I really want to support this book, but it's like
I'll buy one and I'll ship them out to you. Well, I'll buy more, I
Collectors
guess, the
helping
next time he has a
collect.
Kickstarter.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, but it's good. It's actually talking about Pulp Fiction. It's like, think of a fantasy version of that, right? Just a lot of intersecting storylines, characters. Magic powder is a drug, and elves are controlling it. And so it's just a lot of fun, and it's a very contemporary story set in a fantasy setting, with magic and all that. So yeah, I definitely dig that. And then the third one that's not on here, it's called The Routine by John O'Burke. And I just saw, check that out, just type it in Google or something. But the art was just so freaking beautiful of the main character. And basically the story is about a henchman, right? And it's just his day job. And he's dealing with this maniac and all the bullshit. It's just, it's kind of like a work comedy. And but it's really funny. Like the writing is so tight, and I haven't read a book in a while where I was like, God damn it! It's like, this is really good. No, he's just good. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen this around.
holy
Yeah,
fuck! Look at that.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
looks
beautiful,
fucking
and the
Holy
logo's
shit.
beautiful. Yeah, it's really good.
Wow, and the
So
logo too,
that-
based off the Russia logo from the 70s.
Yeah. Yes.
Fucking right.
Yeah, so yeah, that one I picked up. I just saw because I thought it was it looked rad, and just all around art, the writing, everything was. It reminded me of this group, this younger group 3 years ago. I was like, this would be a dude that we would reach out to and be like, all right, tell me what you're doing, because it's just fucking rad.
Don't you fucking hate that when you see like a good book? You're like, go fuck yourself, right? When you see like, right?
Damn it.
Right? Like, come on.
This looks sick, man.
Yeah,
Is this
live right now?
Looks like it ended.
No, it's ended, but I'm sure you can pick it up.
It just ended a couple months.
Holy shit, man! I'm gonna look this guy up.
I gotta hit him up. Yeah, this looks.
Look at this.
Wow.
Fuck off.
See, I couldn't find it initially, but when you gave me the name, like now it just popped up. I mean, this looks.
Yeah, it was just a Kickstarter. Yeah. I saw on the feed, and I was like, all right. Well.
You know what? You know what's the definition of strength? Seeing like books like this and then carrying on with your own book. That's fucking strength.
I know, it's tough.
Holy shit! I fucking hate that. Don't you hate seeing people better than you?
Oh man,
speaking of that, I'll have to leave you with this. Speaking of this, 2 of these motherfuckers are here. Just meeting you now, Brendan. I'm sure you are also very talented in your magazine. It looks awesome. But these guys, we talked about this before. We were all kind of getting into that Kickstarter crowdfunding game, trying to figure that shit out. Just had books that I think we all gravitated towards for whatever reason. It was the art or the idea, and then just reading what you guys created and seeing the final product, and just knowing, honest to God, like, okay, they're gonna get picked up. Like this is a different level. Seriously, like I read a lot of indie comics.
Son of a bitch.
Indie comic books.
I gotta get a refill.
And no, it's awesome to be like, okay, they should get this. They should get this distributed. And the fact that it happened is just so cool. And you guys have been so awesome and so open. And man, I honestly don't know if the Kickstarters that I've run and will continue to run will be as successful without just reaching out and learning. And that's that community, man. So that's what's so awesome about finally getting on like a somewhat human interaction.
Oh yeah, and the fact that we got a potential book that we're working through, right? Like that story, we got that whatever with Richard too. If we could pull this off, honestly, this is gonna be my highlight, right? Our little Kickstarter family actually putting a book out together. You know what I mean? I think Dylan Corbuser is part of that group too.
He's great.
So, dude, I'm telling you, man, fuck, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out. So, but yeah, no, honestly, I wouldn't be here without you guys, to be honest, really. I mean, like your support, really just absolutely amazing, like through the Kickstarter. And then, it's just nice having a family of creators, you know what I mean? Like, we're just a small little group. You guys, Richard, Dylan's kind of getting in the fold too. And, with lesser known as well, right? We kind of work under that umbrella, and it feels good. It feels really good.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's all the drinks, but that just.
I love you guys.
I want to hug y'all right now, man. I love you, man. It's great.
I'm taking my shirt off.
Chris, we're talking about the great Kickstarters and great indie content.
I need a refill, seriously.
Tights is live right now. Before you get out of here, Chris, I did want to, plug your shit one more time because I did have the opportunity. Thank you so much for sending me the first couple issues. I had the chance to check it. Issue number 1. I haven't gotten to issue number 2 yet. Issue number 1 is one of my favorite debut issues that I've read this year, man. Just so much fun, dude. Oh man, I had an absolute kick.
Yeah, it's a fun book. It's a fun book. Yeah,
it totally is. It's awesome.
Yeah. Folks, please check this out, man. I guarantee you, and I've said this before on the show, I'm not the biggest Kickstarter guy because I'm kind of, I hate to say this, but a little skeptical of the content out there. But when I do check out stuff and genuinely enjoyed it, man. Great stuff. The art is cool. The story is I Man, I'll allow you to plug it one more time before you get out of here, man.
I do. And also thank you, Sergio, for bringing us all together, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this is the first time
awesome.
we've been talking to each other, via, Instagram chat for all these years. And it's awesome. It's crazy. It's the first time we've seen each other. But Tights issues 1 through 3. This is the third issue, the third Kickstarter. But, every time we do this, we want to make it easy for people who've never read a single one of our comics. And so to catch up, we've got some really cheap digital options, pretty cheap physical options too. And then if you want to get crazy, you want to get nuts, we got some really fun stuff you can get too. Yeah, Kyle, he stepped in for
this is like an evolution.
Edison.
This issue is like an evolution, like of your books. Like this, like I saw this art and I was like, damn, like Chris is like taking it to a next level.
Yeah.
Bless you.
So very lucky, man, to work with this team who are just freaking pros in this
it's
space,
a comic, baby. That's a comic. That looks good.
Yeah.
It's fucking professional. It's a professional book that it's like, this should be with a publisher. Like, this absolutely destroys me that this thing should be like fucking like an image book. You know what I mean? It's like, it's done. It's well done. It's well written. It's just a good book, right? So,
I think keep going because it's gonna get picked up for sure.
It's gonna get picked up, and then we're gonna laugh because we were here when it first started.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my first thought when I finished reading issue number 1. I said this is gonna get picked up like sooner rather than later.
It's all laid out. It's all there. Like, it's like, I don't know what fucking else you need. It's like, I don't need another fucking She-Hulk series or like a fucking Spider-Man reboot. Like, just
So there, the link. If you're watching the replay, if you're watching live, the link is in the description of the video. Go out and back, get the first couple issues that are already out. I guarantee you're gonna get a kick out of issue number 1, man. So much fun. Just professionally done, everything, lettering, script,
quality.
Chris, man, sick stuff, man. I can't wait to check out issue 2 and 3, man. For sure.
Well, thank you so much. You've made my week, my night. I'm going to continue drinking and take care of a 3-year-old.
Good seeing you, buddy. Good
seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Let's keep that chat going with that book. I know Richard kind of chimed in. I got to jump in on there too. So we got to figure this we got to figure this out because we got to knock this shit out. So okay, we'll do it.
Looking forward to that.
Thank you, Jeff too. Jeff Zombie.
Yeah. Shout out, man. Indie Comic Dream Team, you guys are cooking something. I'm saying it right now. When you guys are ready, when you boys are ready, fucking do something here on the House of Nerd, man. Let's blow this shit up, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, I bought like the skankiest beer too. Fucking hell.
See you.
See you, Chris.
Easy, man.
Take care.
Right.
Fucking hell. Yeah, dude, you know what? It absolutely destroys me. Like Tights should be like It will. And I'll be like so happy for him because fuck man, he's putting a lot of time and money into this book and
it's really good. He's got something on his hands. I think it's just a matter of seeing it through
one guy. It takes one person. One person's got to like the right position to like it, and then he's off and running. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's just a matter of time for him.
Yeah, Sergio, what's next, bro?
What do we got here, man? We cracked the 2-hour mark here, so let's keep it moving. I think is this the next? Who's this?
This is me. I'll go through mine quick.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So 30 Days of Night was the book that showed me that comic books don't need to be about superheroes. So this is an extremely important book for me. Steve Niles, Ben Templesmith, they're doing this gritty vampire story set in Alaska, and it's probably like it's my favorite vampire story. I think it's incredible. The art is like really scratchy and stylized.
Yeah.
So yeah, this book is one I think if you haven't read it, you definitely need to read 30 Days of Night. It's so good. Just like a staple of horror books, I would say.
Yeah.
Tomei, I'm really big into like manga. I love manga. I'm wearing a Berserk shirt. But Tomei is Junji Ito. I love all his books. I think a lot of his stuff is starting to get published and translated. And this one is about a high school girl that dies, but she starts coming back to haunt all her classmates who kind of covered it up. And man, Junji Ito knows how to he crafts his stories so that like he takes you deeper and deeper, and then he'll slap you with like the best horror image in comics. He just like gets horror. So I really love his work. Definitely check his stuff out. He has like, I don't know, maybe 15 books out now, and they're all really interesting and cool. And then Capra, you know, Michelle Pfeiffer, he was putting his book out on his own, going back and forth with Image.
Mhm.
I signed up for his Patreon to get his issues. I think this book it's like everything I love about superheroes, but it's not Marvel, it's not DC. It's a little bit of a weird mix. I know Adrian likes Capra. It's just like it's a really it's a badass book. The art is like really, really stylized and like colorful, and he has, you know, I think he's up to like issue 50 something.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Fucking 50.
Wow.
Yeah,
For
it's like
indie.
it's incredible. It's an incredible. He has the characters can carry the book. It's just like I want to read more of these characters. So I think when I first discovered this, I just plowed through the trades, just like give me more, give me more. So these aren't my favorite comics, but these are some that like mean a lot to me, and I've kind of pulled some inspiration from, and you know.
Yeah, it's funny. So it's like I always call it Copra, but then I listened to an interview with him, and so it's actually Copra, and his name is, I used to like call his name Michael Fife.
Yeah,
I swear to fucking God, he pronounced it Michel Fife.
Okay.
I'm just like, really? I was like fucking nowhere near that neighborhood. I was like nowhere fucking near it, right? But it's funny. It's like, man, so my buddy Taz got me onto it. So Taz, like, he's a hardcore comic book collector. Taz was actually there's a character Jamando that comes in Trakovi #3 is based on Taz from a photograph that he took of himself. Anyway, so he got me into Copra, and it's funny, man. It's like reading up with Michel Fife, and it's like he's actually inspired me to like kind of like really look into just being a self-published entity.
Yeah,
you know, as opposed to like a whatever. And it's funny. It's like I could say that now because like I've gone through a publisher, right? So at least I have that luxury, and you know, Pat, you as well. You have the luxury now of going through a publisher.
But I also feel very similar to you. Is like,
you know what?
I think it's time to just do it on my own again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and listen,
figure it out.
Yeah, and listen. Like for the record, I love Scout Comics. Scout has been fantastic to me. I have like honestly. The rope that they've given me and how they like I honestly I'll be forever grateful to the Brendan Deneen and Scout Comics. But I'm telling you, man, there's just something about being self-published and having control over everything, like having control of your distribution, you know, when your books are ready and whatnot. And Michel Fife has like been like a complete inspiration for me to work towards being a fully independent, self-published you know, creator, and you could do it. You could totally do it, right? Like Dave Cook.
And you could do it because you can do it, you know?
Well, yeah, and you could do it too, right? So we could both do it because, you know, we've had that platform, right? Like Dave Cook with Kiltopia.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, I stole his colorist because I liked Kiltopia so
I'm
much.
telling you, man, and fucking like Dave absolutely like destroyed his Kickstarters, right? Like he made so much fucking bank on those, right? Richard Morgan with Blam and Glam. So he's on issue 7, which
7, dude. 7.
Yeah, so Pink Buzz is doing a launch party for him tomorrow.
I sent a little video for him.
Yeah, I did too as well. Yeah, because like, you know, yeah. So it's awesome.
I'm really happy for him. I think his
me too.
So rad, man. And I think Richard has his style down. He doesn't need any outside interference. He just
he just does it.
Richard, yeah, just go, you know.
And I feel like an asshole now because I didn't put him on my list, right? I didn't put pop scars on my list and put tights on my list. Like, fuck it, let it dink, right? But anyway, so whatever. Anyway, we're all cool. But it's like, Richard is also like, Richard to me is like with like, you know, he's along the lines with Michel Fife that you could just do it on your own.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, I don't even know if Richard actually like approaches any publishers. I don't think
he does. No, I think he's happy making Blam and Glam, and it looks so good that like, I feel like he's just really, really enjoying the process.
Yeah. and I find that too with lesser known comics as well. Is they're a publisher, but I don't know. It's just like, but you still have like that
Freedom.
self-published, that freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm so excited to like do a book with those guys. You know what I mean? Like I just like there's something very punk rock about lesser known comics. I don't know what it is about
That's
it.
what I like too, man.
They're like 2 or 3 years old, right? But I feel like I can have a voice within this company. You know what I mean? Like there's just something about it. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, fucking Copra, man. Copra.
Copra. So like just
check
speaking
that
on the publishing thing a little bit, like I agree with you. It's awesome that Sumerian picked up Pop Scars and they gave me like a reach that I didn't even know I could have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like very grateful and lucky for that.
Yeah.
And I think though, moving forward, I really like the idea of making Punch Publishing the publisher and putting out, my own books. And like right now, my wife and I are working on a horror book and like making that part of it. I think doing stuff yourself, I think the guys at Behemoth, they started small and they just grew and they grew. And now they're, they got picked up by Sumerian and they're really big now. They're doing like licensed comics and stuff, but like it is just like people running it, guys like us, creative people like us running it. So it's like, I think you see so many new indie publishers on the space now. Yeah. Like, why not just take that chance on yourself?
Why not?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to stop making comics. Like, I'm going to keep making comics. I know you're going to too, Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, like every publisher, there's always warts, right? There's always something, right? But you got to, honestly, it's like in this business, keep it to yourself, keep it private. Don't fucking slam your publisher in public.
You can't.
You can't.
It makes you look bad. Yeah.
Contact them directly and whatever issues you have, deal with them privately, right? Mm-hmm. Like be whatever, because it's like as soon as you start bad mouthing a publisher, you're fucked, right?
You're the one who's fucked.
Because it's like because there'll be another publisher watching how you slam this publisher. They'll be like, why the fuck would I hire you, right? Because you're going to
slam us. Yeah.
No, so like I said, I know, like I feel like with me, with Scout, and you with Sumerian, I feel like we're on very similar type situations, and I think all in all, we've both been given a fantastic opportunity. But you and I kind of have that mindset where we just want to start doing more self-published and kind of be more self-contained entity, with still appreciating what we have.
I mean, I think that was essential to get like our names out there and our brand out there. And, I mean, the numbers like are just, when I do stuff on Kickstarter versus publishing a book, like you can't even argue the reach, it's
would actually, but what's funny though, I think reach wise, publishing, dollar wise, Kickstarter.
Maybe my Kickstarter, I did great on Kickstarter. I raised 10 grand, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, me too. I had the 10 grand mark too. Yeah.
But you know what? I spent it all on shipping and printing the books, and I had a little bit left over to pay my editor. I still had to figure out how to make more books. It didn't help me finish Pop Scars. So like I had somebody message me about like, oh, why didn't you do the rest on Kickstarter? Because Kickstarter didn't fund it. Kickstarter actually made me stressed out for 8 months. You know what I mean? Like, oh, now I got to get this Kickstarter right. Now I got to fulfill this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, when you're like I'm a one-man army, right? So it's like a completely different situation, right? So I feel for you. I feel for Chris, right? Because you guys got to get the letterer, you got to get the artist.
I tried drawing.
Fuck, dude. You guys are basically general contractors, right? It's like you got a plumber, electrician, you know what I mean? Fucking mill worker. It's just like, holy fuck. Yeah, you guys are building a fucking barn, right? It's just like, But
then it's a lot of paying people and relying on people to be on time and stuff like that.
It's the business, right? But
I much prefer this. I used to make movies and short films and stuff, and the physical toll that took on me versus like comics and stuff like that. I just prefer comics so much more.
Oh,
like,
dude,
creating of them.
I love it.
What kind of comics? Indie?
Son of a bitch.
I
need to. I'm out. I've been out. I'm like.
Brendan just gave me the biggest. I read the sign and said, "This motherfucker! Don't say indie again, bro."
All right, next list. Let's do this, bro.
Man.
Let's find this
So
out.
I think it's
I guess.
actually, I think this is you, Adrian.
It's me. Okay, so Lonely Receiver. It's funny. It was one of those books where I remember it's. These are my picks on emotion. It's funny. I picked Cobra too. Fucking like an asshole. So I'm picking off of emotion here. So I remember Lonely Receiver. I remember after reading the first issue, I was sitting next to. And it's funny. It's like, it's something when you remember exactly when you read it. I was sitting in my wife's den. She's on the end of the couch. I'm in the end of the couch. I'm reading this. I finish it. I put it down. I'm like, I remember I said to her, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I just read. And I was just like, and I immediately read it again. I was that like completely blindsided by this story. And then I think this is a 5-issue run, I believe. And I just remember just like every issue was just this story was so obscure. Some of the characters were just it was just an odd book. The story was odd. The plot was odd. Trying to kind of keep pace with that felt odd. It was just like, this book is so bizarrely beautiful, and you just kind of get lost in it. And is Zach Thompson? I think Zach Thompson. He's from Toronto, I think.
Zach Thompson is from, I believe, originally out east, but he spent a lot of time in BC.
Yeah,
and now he's back out east.
Okay, so it's funny. So I read that. So I read Lonely Receiver same time I read Hollow Heart. Hollow Heart. I should have had. You know what? If I can swap out Copra, I put Hollow Heart in my list. It's funny. It's like this book fucking almost made me cry. It's like I don't cry because of my Slovenian Irish heritage, but fuck, man, fuck, dude, this book absolutely, like the first issue absolutely broke my heart. So that you know what, I'll take out Copra. I'm gonna put in a Hollow Heart by Laura Tucker. I fucking love this goddamn book. And so so I won't bother with Copra. Lonely Receiver. I said what I said. So the tick is basically what I used to learn to draw with in the early 90s. So it was just kind of one of those, like, man, when everyone was like, jerking off to like Rob Liefeld and, Wills Portasio and the whole like, 90s kind of whatever, which I did appreciate. Like, this is the stuff that actually really interests me, right? So it was this and of course the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But man, it's just like every character felt unique. You could just kind of like, hear their voices and just, I just love how stylized and simple they were. They're just like, just solid colors, like, white, blue, and whatnot. The Tick felt like a book that I would write, if I
could see that.
Yeah. It's funny, dude. It's like somebody asked me, it's like, if you could ever like write a title, what would it be? And it was like, the Tick was the first thing that fucking blurred out, right? Like,
that's
most guys would pick Daredevil, Batman, or whatever. I was like the fucking Tick, like hardcore. I don't know what it is. I would do
Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles would be awesome,
dude. I'm telling you, man, Ninja Turtles, yeah, like the original, like the black and white, and the more dark. Actually, even like the last Ronin, like I don't know if you read like the first issue of the last Ronin.
That made me cry.
Dude, fuck that, man. You know what? I fucking welled up too. I was actually surprised how sad I felt at the end of that one, right? He's talking about his brothers, and all that. And
characters I loved for my whole life. I don't want to see these guys go out. You know what I mean? That was hard.
Oh, I know. It was a tough read. You know what? As a Ninja Turtles fan, after so many decades, man, that one fucking hit hard.
Yeah.
Shocked me. So
here's what I wish they would do. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I wish that they would do Last Ronin for each turtle. Like maybe it would cheapen it. But I think that you could do a vastly different story depending on who's the last survivor.
Yeah.
Because like I would make Raph the last survivor. He's my boy,
But
he's the first one. I know that he's the first one to go because he's brash. Yeah. But like, what's the version where he lives? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it. The last Ronin too. It's like because you didn't know which one it was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was awesome. Right? So smart, like, so smart.
You're like, it's Mikey, right? You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, it's funny with Ninja Turtles. It's funny, like it's so inspiring as an indie creator. It's like when you really think about it, it's such a stupid fucking concept, right?
It is.
You know what I mean?
It's like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? It's just so stupid, right? But it's like, man, it's just like, you have so much connection to these guys. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's like the stories can get really dark and sad, and there's just something kind of like morose about it. And yeah, I don't know, man. I got such a special place for.
I never grew out of them. I never. Grew
No,
out
I
of
never did. You did. I just never did. Like with the Tick, right? And I know the Tick is more slapstick. You know, the Tick never. It's funny with the Tick though. The Tick knew its lane. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
that's so sick. Hold
It,
up.
it just it knew where to go. It never kind of went. You know.
No, that's nuts.
This thing is huge, dude.
Jesus, dude.
Holy.
Look at that.
I went to Designer Con,
Wow.
and my wife was like, get something if it speaks to you. Like if something speaks to you, get it. And I come home with this fucking giant Ninja Turtle box, and I was like, this spoke to me.
Hey, so who's your favorite?
I mean, Raph is my guy always.
Yeah, I'm a Donatello guy. I've always
Yeah?
been a Donatello guy. Yeah.
Nice.
Brendan, what about you?
I forget the name, but the purple one that's like the gadget guy.
Donatello. Yeah, that's
Okay,
Donatello.
okay.
Yeah. Sergio?
I know I always get flagged, but Leo, man, Leo's my guy.
No,
Yeah,
I've grown to
yeah.
like Leo. I've grown to like Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Leo as a leader, right? So yeah, I like Raph is probably my second, just because Raph goes in those dark places, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing too I love about the Ninja Turtles. Fuck, I should have put it on my goddamn list.
I know. I mean, I should have too.
It's like, but it's funny. What I love about Ninja Turtles though is how like they directly played off of the hand from the Daredevil series, right? With the foot, right? And I love Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like the majors, Daredevil's my guy. I fucking love him. Whatever, and I'd be scared shitless though to write Daredevil. I'd be scared shitless to write any Marvel DC title,
Me
right?
too.
Because I couldn't. I know I would just.
Not my voice.
I would disappoint so many people.
I got a question for you guys. Since you're creators, writers, do you think it might be easier to write a grounded superhero like a Daredevil, like a Batman versus a Superman or a Wonder Woman, something like that? Or like what are your guys' thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I prefer grounded. I
Yeah.
really do. I don't care for traditional superhero, raw kind of whatever. I like it a little more grounded. I think maybe that's why I like the Zack Snyder films so much, because he just really he just turned the contrast down. He just turned the brightness down, just made it more, just more real, more dirty. Yeah, it's just something about it, right? Like, I not too long ago, I kind of like sort of jumped back into the Frank Miller Daredevils, and I'm like, yeah, this is for me.
Yeah,
this is for me. I just love, and maybe it's because with film, right? Because like I said, I love good dialogue, right? Like in a Tarantino film. It's funny with like Tarantino. I remember like growing up, people are always like complaining about the over excessive violence and the whatever and all that, right? But it's like no one ever really talked about the dialogue that Tarantino put out, and his dialogue was just like that. To me, it was like the highlight of every movie he's done, right? Like the first 20 minutes of Inglourious Bastards, right? With the
masterpiece.
the scene at the French farmhouse, right? That is stuff. It's funny because that itself That's a short film. It's a short film. It's a short film. It's a short film, right? And it's not an opening scene. It's a short film. That's like it's an opener to like the main film, right?
Yeah, it's perfect. I love it.
Yes, it's fucking perfect, right? Honestly, and Inglourious Bastards is my favorite Tarantino movie.
That scene made Buddy one of the all-time villains in a film.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's like Christoph Waltz, like. And it's funny. There's another scene later on in that movie when Christoph Waltz is at the French cafe, and Shoshana was brought to meet Goebbels to whatever. Everyone leaves, so it's Shoshana and Hans Lander. Yep. And there's a scene where so he orders the strudel.
The creme
and the creme, creme. Yeah. And so there's a moment. So there's a moment. So this is shit that I noticed, right? So he asks her a question, and he's chewing. He's like, and he stops, and he just like freezes, right? And this like hardcore chewing just stops, right? And he just like to me, it's like fucking hell. He just just turned he kind of went from like in a comfortable eating position to like to this almost like this subtle confrontational kind of whatever subtle movement that kind of like sort of like you could tell it just brought up like anxiousness in Shoshana. Like she's got to answer that. So it's definitely grounded for me. I find like the traditional superhero, hands on the shoulder, cape, saving the couch. I find that's just that to me that's a dead medium. I like realness. You know what I mean? And it's like I need to feel a connection to a connection of some kind. I need to relate to the character.
I mean, Pop Scars is grounded. I love and they look like Pinky looks like a superhero, but it's a super grounded story, and I prefer that too. I even like the stuff that I look for. I want something different. I want something that's edgy and kind of pushes me in a new direction. I mean, as far as like superhero stuff goes, like I'm working on a book called The Antagonist with Godhood Comics. I edit it, and that I'm not into superheroes, but that take on superheroes was extremely exciting because it's about supervillains, and it's about a family of supervillains, and it really kind of flipped the whole superhero thing on its head for me. So I mean, I get to kind of enjoy working on superhero stuff through that.
Yeah.
But me personally, I don't see myself doing superhero stuff. I just have like way more. I like dirty street stories, so I'll stick around there in the gutters.
Yeah. Almost like a Mark Millar kind of type. You know what I mean? I just like just dirty, right? So and also it's like I find now it's like I don't know about you, Pat, but it's like I find it's like as I write, I kind of sort of like everyone kind of seems to kind of find like their niche, their voice, their direction, right? So I find for me it's like family, right? So I find like my stories are centered around like just family, in a subtle way, right? Like with Wes Anderson, it's always about like shitty dads, right? So I just like that. You draw from a personal experience, and
all you need is one little piece of that to make it authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One little piece and like one little scene, right? When you have like that one scene that you love and you just kind of just grow it from there, right? That's the best. Yeah.
I mean, I guess to counter your points though, like you can still do big bombastic superhero stories as long as the characters are realistic enough that they have to be relatable and they have to have lives too. Like they can't just be only superheroes, right? Like you can do, if you do a really good job with the alter ego, then you can kind of bridge some of those issues of like not being relatable and not being, realistic characters. So some modern superhero stuff is getting there where they are doing much more well-rounded characters and stuff. So it really depends, but it's still possible. But if it's a more grounded character to begin with, I guess that's easier. But I wouldn't discount superheroes entirely. Like it's just, you're right.
No.
You have to be smart. You have to be a good creator to do it. And still it doesn't always work out, I guess. But trying to think of examples like Invincible, I guess, is a good like example of like a superhero story that's still very well grounded in reality. So
I gotta tell you though, it's funny. It's Brandon's got me kind of like backtracking here now. It's like, I'm kind of dissing the whole like superhero kind of whatever. I gotta tell you though, it's like I'm kind of craving like for live action Superman, like almost like a throwback, to like the hopeful Superman. You know what I mean? Like that kind of encourages people. Like that ray of light kind of thing, right? Like,
I think you're gonna get that. I think that's where this is gonna go. Is like
Superman Legacy. You think Legacy is going to be that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think he sees the landscape. I think he sees what's been done before. I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna give us like very hopeful, very retro. Like even if it's modern, I do think it's gonna be very saturated and like a Superman that is probably the most relatable out of the movies or something. I'm not a huge James Gunn fan, to be honest. I think he somehow became like a filmmaker celebrity, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know what put him in everybody's face versus like other filmmakers who I consider to be like better filmmakers,
Yeah.
Not to diss him. I've seen like his movies and he's doing what the job is, but I I just like everybody kind of like bows to him, and I'm still kind of waiting for him to like do something that kind of grabs me because I'm not like I liked Guardians. It's not like I don't like his stuff. His stuff is
Yeah.
really his stuff is good,
Yeah.
but somehow him as a person has become like this spokesperson for stuff. And I'm just like, where did he come from? He made Slither, like a kind of okay bad horror movie. Like, how does this dude everywhere? You know what I mean?
Scooby Doo 1 and 2,
Scooby-Doo,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, out of all the superheroes, like I said, I really have a special place for Superman because of like the Christopher Reeve ones, because I was at that age that I was really impressionable, and yeah, like I said, that's the one I really kind of hope kind of goes back to the old school of hero kind of vibe. I want to see that you said the saturated look, and yeah,
He's
you
in
know
the
what?
sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. It has to be
Yeah,
special. Like, make it
yeah.
special.
I want to be inspired, I guess. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? So yeah. So fuck. I'm totally contradicting what I just said about 10 minutes ago. But gives a fuck, right? But
But you know what, Adrian, to your point, I mean, everyone knows Superman. My favorite, my go superhero.
mm,
I'm very much and I think we're gonna get that with Gunn, going back to a more Christopher Reeve esque vibe.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the vibrant. But I also think he's not going all the way there. I
yeah.
feel like it's gonna be somewhere in between Man of Steel and like Superman Returns. I thought Superman Returns to me was underrated, to be
I
honest.
completely agree with
You
you. I
know,
like fucking right. Someone fucking said it right. So I just
no,
like said,
dude,
yeah,
it
I
had
know.
that very much it felt like very much a continuation of
It
Reeve's
was a
stuff.
continuation. It was a total. It actually
Yeah.
was a
Oh,
sequel to the Reeve,
the
whatever, right?
reverse.
And
There you
I mean,
go.
you
But it
know,
also it was the subtle changes, right? It was setting in the modern time. I thought
yeah.
it was great. Maybe the story itself
Mhm.
maybe was a little could have used improvement, but overall I thought it was great. I thought
Yeah,
it was
like the costume, Brandon Routh's costume,
great.
and of course,
Mhm.
like Brandon Routh is so Christopher Reeve esque, it's absolutely frightening.
Mhm.
And then also too,
Mhm.
his physique, which is interesting because he wasn't this
Like super jacked up
or
guy.
he wasn't like this guy wasn't like walking into a country bar
Yeah,
looking for a
yeah,
fight, right? He was just
yeah.
like almost a normal guy, right? So he was like he had that bit of relatability to him, and man, I'm telling you, man, that scene when Lois Lane is in in Superman Returns, Lois Lane is in that plane for that demonstration, and they lose the power or whatever because Lex is doing his shit, and the plane is crashing. That whole fucking sequence, right? When Superman comes in and he like stops that plane, right? Even when he kind of grabs the nose of it and the ripples along the plane,
Yeah.
and just like when he then stops it at the at the baseball field, it was just like there's something so it's so Christopher Reeve, and it's funny too. It's like here we are, like fucking decades from like a 1978 movie, and we still talk about him. Is that fucking crazy when you think about it? A
Yeah.
superhero movie in 1978 when CGI was like it was a non-entity, right? Everything was all
Mhm.
practical effects. We're still talking about it like it's the fucking gold
Do you
standard
know
of
why though? Do you know
movies.
why? Because of it had movie magic. I
Mhm.
think movies now it is all CGI and they're
Mhm.
lacking that magic.
Heart,
Oh,
That
the
magic.
heart!
Yeah.
It's the
yeah.
heart, man. And I'm telling you, it's like
100%. 100%.
it's funny. It's like there are a lot of fantastic castings in comic book movies, like like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and Chris
Mhm.
Evans as Steve Rogers and so on and so on. But fuck, man, I'm telling you, it's like you will never, ever, ever find a more perfect casting than Christopher Reeve as Superman. I'm telling you, I will take that to my
Louder
grave.
for the people in back.
It's
Adrian,
it's
100%.
fucking never gonna happen. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. It's like
Perfect.
every time there's a casting
Yeah.
that's a good casting, right? Like Robert Downey and all that. You
Mhm.
always compare it to Reeve. It's so funny. It's like it always comes up every fucking time, right? When
Yep.
there's a Batman casting that's like okay-ish, right? You go back to Reeve. It's just like it's really amazing when you think about just how fucking perfect it was. It really was
How that
perfect.
kind of influenced everything outward too. To be honest, I don't like Superman. I've read 2 Superman stories. I'm not a Superman guy at all.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth, Pat.
Honestly, my kids don't like Superman either. They find the character boring, right?
Yeah.
So, but like I said, yeah. Good.
You know, I gravitate more towards like Peter Parker, like, or Batman, just because it was everywhere when I was born. You know.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. It's funny. It all comes down to like what you grew up with, right?
Totally,
So like, 1978. So I would have been like, I don't know, 3 years old, and I remember going to theater for Superman 2. And I fucking love Superman 2, right? With Terrence Stamp as General Zod and all that. And so that's just what I grew up with. That's just what I knew. And like with Batman, I'm okay with all the iterations of Batman. I gotta tell you, there's never been a bad Batman for me. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, even like, I'm talking like the actual actor, right? Like Batman and Robin was a fucking abomination of a movie. Like, that thing should have been buried in a fucking field, in the middle of goddamn fucking Siberia, about 40 feet down, and no one and never be spoken of again. But I like George Clooney. I thought George Clooney was a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, agreed. He was a great Bruce Wayne.
I thought he was a great Bruce Wayne. I love Val Kilmer. Batman Forever. I really love Batman Forever. I thought, I love Jim Carrey. I love
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Thank you. Val Kilmer is fantastic. It's a great movie. Soundtrack was fucking slapping, right? The U2 song and all that. It was a fucking whatever. But and I'm okay with that. But yeah, man, Superman, I have a tough time. It's just like I
want to return to that kind of a Batman film.
Which one? Like a Gothic
Schumacher one?
Like a Schumacher.
Oh, dude, no. You don't want to do that.
I don't know, man.
Oh, dude,
I want to see it.
I'm really happy with where they're taking it, because it feels like that's what I wanted to make. I wanted to make Batman as like super indie, like he has mascara on his face, like gritty. He has like crappy tech. Like, I love that stuff.
I love the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah. That movie was nearly perfect, except for they put 3 long ass dialogue scenes right in a row, and it killed the whole flow of the movie. You take those out, and that movie is like insanely
they could have trimmed it a bit, but Zoe Kravitz was so fucking great as Selena Kyle. They're like this, even the scenes when they're walking through the Penguins club, and just like her movement and the music.
Matt Reeves he's a great filmmaker.
Planet of the Apes.
What he does. Yeah, Planet of the Apes. Like
the trilogy. Why the fuck?
Oh my gosh!
Everyone's got their hand down their pants for fucking Lord of the Rings and
go watch
whatever.
Planet of the Apes. It's
why
insane.
the fuck are we? Why are we not talking about Planet of the Apes in the same breath? I mean, that to me is like one of the best trilogies of all time.
It's a very tight trilogy, and it's emotional.
Man,
it's really impressive what he pulled off. So
Andy Serkis should have got a fucking a nomination for one of those movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Andy Serkis as Alfred is it didn't work yet. It hasn't worked yet.
You know what? I still like Jeremy Irons as Alfred.
Jeremy Irons I like as anything.
As Alfred? Jeremy Irons as Alfred is fucking fantastic.
I fucking love it, dude.
I love a tech savvy Alfred.
His fucking apron was boss, right?
Yeah.
His fucking leather apron.
Who was the old one? Who was the only character to be in the Schumacher ones and the Michael Keaton ones?
Oh, that old dude.
That old dude.
Fuck,
like
dude,
he was so sweet though. What a sweet Alfred. He was great.
Yeah, he was pretty sweet. I actually liked him.
He was like a sweetheart. I want him to be the butler. You know,
he was good.
Might be a bit of a hot. My least favorite is actually Michael Caine. He wasn't bad, but he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah,
dude.
I feel like he gave that one speech, and that was like the only thing he really kind of did.
You know what? It's funny, like with the Nolan Batmans, it's like It's funny. It's like out of the 3 of them, I mean, everyone loves obviously like Dark Knight, but it's funny. Dark Knight Rises is my favorite of the trilogy. Right? I fucking love Tom Hardy. I love his take on Bane. It's funny though with Bane though. Like to me, it's like obviously Bane should be like this Mexican drug lord, right? But whatever, it is what it is. Yeah. But I just fucking loved his Bane. I don't know what it is. I love the ridiculous voice. I love the beginning scene when in the airplane.
Oh my god!
Was your plan? What was your plan? You know? It's just like he's like, crashing this plane, right? It's just like,
I was born in the dark.
it's like a morning by it.
And I just budget that line, but you guys get.
Have you seen Bronson?
Oh, I love Bronson. Fuck, I love Bronson. dude.
Like,
I
that's why I think he got that movie.
No, Tom Hardy's getting better as he gets old. Like Taboo is like fucking. I love Taboo.
I've always liked him. He just like has that aggression that I
yeah.
like.
Yeah, but it's funny. He's got this voice that doesn't seem to match his demeanor and all that. But yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, the Michael Caine one. It's funny. I never really thought of it. How he just really wasn't that great, was he?
I mean, he wasn't bad. He wasn't written to be great either, though.
Yeah.
Like,
he was just really neither here nor there. I think.
Yeah, he's just not here. Yeah, but Jeremy Irons like felt like his character felt like he could do something. Like what's like. I was sitting there. I'm like, I could do a Jeremy Irons Alfred spinoff right now. You know what I mean? Like, I can fucking watch this guy make tea for an hour.
I mean, he's so good though. That's what Jeremy Irons.
Yeah. Michael Caine's good too, but Irons.
I get you.
Yeah, but he's at that extra. But with the Chris Nolan Batman movies, the one thing that kind of keeps throwing me off though is like Christian Bale's voice as the series goes. He almost becomes like a Trump impersonator. He's like, you're like, oh, for fuck's sakes, right? It's just kind of, I don't know.
I think I like the new Batman because it's the first time that Batman, the character, feels like the best character of the movie.
He doesn't have this weird fucking voice.
But some of the other ones, like it's always the villain is the coolest character. The Joker is obviously way cooler than Batman. But in this new one, I think Batman is pretty cool. Yeah,
I will say though, I think pound for pound, Bruce Wayne. I'm a Ben Affleck guy. Ben Affleck is my Bruce Wayne.
Don't like him at all. Don't like him in one scene.
Fuck, dude, I love him as Bruce Wayne.
Hold on, buddy.
He's Bruce Wayne for me.
Oh,
I don't like the Snyderverse, dude. I'm not a Zack Snyder guy.
It's like, hey, no,
Stop it. Get some help.
I had to do it. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not a Snyderverse guy at all. I don't like any of them.
God.
Not one movie.
Dude, that's what? It's totally understandable. It's funny with Zack Snyder. It's like you love him or hate him, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, Brendan, where are you on Zack Snyder?
It does vary movie to movie. So like Man of Steel was pretty awesome actually. Like
right?
For what it was, like it was pretty awesome. And then Batman v Superman was such a like weird mess though. Like it was like
I fucking love that movie. I love Batman versus Superman. It's funny.
Goes off the rails a bit. But then like Justice League wasn't that bad. Even the original cut. I mean the extended one, it's got more to it obviously, but but even the original Justice League, like people hated on it, but like it was actually pretty good. Like
it was fun. But it's funny. I like both. I like the Josh Whedon takeover, and I like the Justice League or the Zack Snyder one.
You know why I don't like them though is because I said I don't like Batman when he has all his friends. It ruins it for me. Like it's not the same. Character.
He doesn't do as much like himself. Like he's got some good fight scenes in the Batman v Superman one, I guess. But like
I saw that fight scene.
Most of the time,
it's dope.
Yeah, most of the time though, he's just kind of like the leader, and then like all the other people have to do the heavy lifting because they're fighting like
Batman's in the fucking car. He's just fucking waiting in the car like a parent, right? He goes, just do your thing, right? So but no, honestly, like it's funny. It's like I'm with Pat. I fucking love the Batman, right? And it's funny too. I love saying the Batman, right? Because I kind of like really accentuate the. But the Pattinson one to me was like, fuck, dude, I fucking love that movie so much. I've watched that so many times. I've watched like scenes. I've like broken down scenes and just like, god damn it, I love Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell? Yeah, it's Colin Farrell as I was gonna say Colin Firth, right? Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I fucking love the Penguin. I'm so looking forward to that series. I love his whole Robert De Niro vibe. You know what I mean? Like he's a fucking good fella. He's an absolute good fella. You know what I mean?
That's what I dig. Yeah, they definitely they leaned into that good fella vibe with
dude, when him and Gordon are interrogating him, El Rata de Lata, la, he's like no habla español, right? I was just like fucking dying, right?
He's great.
Just the subtleties in that movie. It's like I know a couple of guys. I know Joe from Pink Buzz was like he didn't like it, kind of found it kind of boring and all that. But I think.
Sorry, AJ. Jeff's been with us the whole.
Thank you, Jeff.
Run, man. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out, man. It was great having you in the chats, man. A lot of great comments. Bro. Enjoy the rest of your night, my man. Have a good one. And thank you for being the designated driver tonight. Much appreciated.
Bro, we're almost at 3 hours here. We're like a goddamn.
And I've still got to get to my comics. I'm gonna hit up my comics.
Okay, do yours. Let's shut it down. Let's do yours and shut it down. Okay. All right.
Here we go. My top 3 indie comics. Space Riders from Alexis Zarit is, to me, the best indie joint out there, man. If you like Kirby inspired art, it's a space opera, man, just crazy wild shit, and the art is honestly some of the best shit I've seen out there. Killer, gorgeous, love the colors, love the pencils, everything, man. Darling from Source Point Press, another great one. I think this came out about 2 years ago, 2020 maybe, or so, 2021. Just really great stuff about it's kind of almost like a down the rabbit hole. You don't know what is real, what is not. It's about this addict and his struggles with his addiction, with his heroin addiction, set in like, I want to say like early 1980s New York City. Great vibe. Love the art from Mims. Just killer stuff. And then I didn't know whether to include this. I would say Boom is not really an indie publisher anymore these days.
Yeah, they're kind of like sort of they're on the fine line.
They're approaching that Image kind of.
Yeah.
Level.
They're like Image light.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Yeah. But what Ram V and Felipe Andrade did with this one, man, is just nothing short of incredible, man. Art. The story, actually, this cover here is for issue 3. It was told from the perspective of a cigarette being, and it's kind of in its life.
That's really cool.
Life and death. The whole book is about life and death.
That's tight, actually.
Yeah,
I gotta check that out.
Oh, dude,
I've heard of this one.
Yeah, an all-timer for me. Not all-timer, indie or not, man.
Okay.
Those are my 3, man. Definitely recommend those.
Good picks for sure.
Yeah.
I remember you talked up Layla Starr before on one of the previous shows. So I really got to jump into that goddamn thing. Goddamn.
Oh, dude,
there's so many good books, man. It's crazy.
Oh God. Nice. So I guess that's it, right? I guess we're gonna like shut it down. Fuck me, man. Like seriously, we're goddamn Lord of the Rings.
I could keep going, but this has been so awesome hanging with you guys tonight. Awesome
this is really fun, man. I'm glad it was nice to have my Kickstarter brethren on there, and then and then Brendan too, man. Like honestly, like I'm so stoked to actually learn about Sequential, dude. Like what you're doing is absolutely like fucking huge. Really, it really is huge, and so like what you're doing is like just thank you. Same with Sergio too. I mean, both you guys giving platforms, to mugs like us. Like it's just it's great.
Hey, I appreciate that, and I'm going to share your sentiment, Brendan. Love what you're doing for the Canadian indie comic creator scene, man. I think you're going to blow up with what you're doing, man. Just keep plugging away, and I hope your crowdfunder is successful, folks. Watching on the replay live, the link is in the description of the video. Check it out, back it, support it, man. Very important. And then also Pop Scars.
Let's go, baby. Wednesday, come on.
Issue number 5 dropping Wednesday.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Nice. Isn't it nice having like the favorite issue in your
it really
whatever?
Is. It's like I'm glad I got to do what I did in it. I think
fucking right. I love hyping up. It's like I've been telling people that Trakovi issue 3 is my Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I'm fucking telling you, man. I got people like going, what? Right? So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you've sent me the PDF for that one, man.
I've sent you all 5 issues. You have the whole run.
Okay.
Yeah, you sent me the whole thing too. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
It's out there.
Hey, listen. Before we get out of here, I want to give each one of you guys just plug your shit. Let everybody know what's coming up, what you guys are doing.
Pat, you go first, bro.
All right. Well, Sergio, thank you so much for having me part of this group. This was awesome, man. I really like this.
Right.
I got Pop Scars coming out this Wednesday from Sumerian, issue number 5. We got number 6 coming out end of the month. And then the first trade paperback comes out October 17th. And I'm very stoked to share that cover by Robert Samelin. He just like killed that trade paperback cover.
Nice.
Dope. All right. Trade paperback coming soon. Brandon, what do you got going on, my man?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, it's been awesome listening to all your guys' approaches to your indie comics too. And that's exactly what we do in the magazines. We interview creators and they tell us what they're up to. So yeah, so issue 15, we're crowdfunding right now. You can get that or this or both with this other best of issue of the first 10 issues. So both of those are available on the crowdfunder for 10 more days. But they'll still be available eventually later too. But if you back the crowdfunder, then you'll get them first before anyone else.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hit us with that Michael Jordan one more time. Hit us with that Michael Jordan one more time, and then we'll finish up with Adrian.
Oh shit.
I want to see it now too. Fuck, I got urge to see it now too.
You had it perfectly timed before. You're like, wait and drop that on me.
You dropped like a fucking DJ too.
Yeah, it was just like.
Okay, my man. Adrian, what you got going
Okay.
on, buddy?
All right. Okay. So my book Trakovi came out on Wednesday through Scout. So it's in shops. Go grab it. If you're in Edmonton, tomorrow I'm doing a in-store signing over at Comic Fever, North End Edmonton, 2 to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So they only got 45 copies. I guess their distributor kind of fucked them, right? They're supposed to have 100 copies, so they got 45 copies. So it's going to be like crazy tomorrow. And also too, I'm going to have like an old school like gig flyer. I'm going to print like 100 of these, right? I'm going to pour coffee on them, kind of fold them up. I'm going to sign and number them. And I'm going to give these away for free for everyone that comes tomorrow. First 100 people. And that's it. And then I got a book called The Sitter I'm working on through Lesser Known Comics and S and a Few Tales, self-published. And that is about it.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
My guy, big congrats on issue 1 drop, man.
Thank you.
Like, you're about to blow up, bro.
Love this book. It's so good, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And apologies, I didn't mean to dismiss your request for the Jordan. Here we go.
Stop it. Get some help.
Fuck it out.
Fucking multitasking here. I'm about eight pops.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Man, I'm like 8 beers deep at this point now.
You're fucking DJ. I love it. I love it.
I've got some other gems. I got the, you know, that classic. Hey, Adrian, do you wanna get us out of here, man?
All right, motherfuckers. So we're at 2 hours 52 minutes. Holy shit! I only had to go to the bathroom once. So Pat, you didn't move once. So good on you, buddy. Brendan's been an absolute fucking stoic, right? So I don't know if you're wearing an adult diaper or what you're doing, buddy, but good on you. I'm so proud of your bladder right now. So thank you, Sergio, for letting me commandeer this this evening's festivities. So I really appreciate the Almighty, the House of Nerd Show. And I think we've all said what we need to be said.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, bid you a fair adieu. See you later.
That's it, folks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment.
Indie.
Oh, there we go.
Drink that shit.
We out of here, folks. Hey, Sunday. 1 p.m. Chip Zdarsky, Jacob Phillips. It's gonna be a blast.
Fucking hell. Nice.
We out of here, boys.